Discretion is advised.
It's obvious that I'm super rusty at this whole stream thing because there's like 20 things I have to do to remember. Guys, and I apologize for the little bit of delay there. I'm getting back into the swing of things with streaming. Happy Thursday, right? Thursday, got it. You are listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 191. We are in patch 7.3.2 for maybe a month yet. We'll talk about those predictions later on in the show. Tonight we are going to be talking very little World of Warcraft news this week, guys. So not a whole lot going on in the live version, stuff going on in PTR, but we do have a really, really packed show with good stuff. Winter Veil is almost here for us in real life. Jim and I lost our Santa hats. I can't find mine anywhere, and he couldn't find his either, so we're not really overjoyed, but I have a candle to set the mood. We're going to be talking about the Seething Shore Battleground that we previewed this week, and I have a nice breakdown on the way that Battleground is going to work. And we're going to be getting into everything we know about the allied races and predictions for when we're going to be able to play them. But we have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there is a group that defies convention. A group that stands in the face of trolls and doesn't flinch. A group that strives on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve. A group that eats tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you. She can start a revolt with a Chaos Bolt, Bell, the Pwnecast Vanguard. Snap back and get faster for the Pet Battle Grandmaster, Gemma Banks. With holy might as strong as his ancient knowledge, Remedies, the Argent Loremaster. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are Pwnecast.
Welcome back. I suppose it's that time where I have to unmute them. I don't know, though. Like, Rem was kind of unruly pre-show and was doing every single annoying sound and physical body animation he could possibly do when I was trying to focus on setting everything up for the show. And Jimmo was just being his normal self. Nothing too terrible. I guess I can unmute you guys now.
You want to know what the most annoying sound in the world is?
No, I do not want to know what the most annoying sound in the world is. I'm going to mute you. Don't do it. I'm not joking. Don't do it.
I was thinking of that movie, too.
Don't do it. I don't want to have to kill you. I mean, I'll kill you if I have to. Guys, welcome back. It seems like it's been forever.
It has been.
Oh,
You've been busy too. Busy week. Busy month.
I know. The holidays are upon us, guys. You know what that means.
avoiding family.
Right. Well, I mean, it's exciting for me as a parent, right? Because
it's exciting for me
you're
because
Santa Claus.
Right. I get to be, I can't say that too loud, but I get to do all the things in the cha-cha. So that's exciting for me. But me and my husband gave each other our Christmas presents early. I'm the worst at trying to keep secrets in general, especially when I'm really excited to give something to somebody. So it's really hard for me to keep it a secret. So
Did you just bring it up so you could get your gift faster?
No, I actually didn't want to open it. And last week, was it, or maybe it was this week during raid, or we were doing something and I was trying to focus and he was like shoving
It was on Monday.
He was like shoving this box in my face. Typical man trying to shove boxes in faces and things. And
Was it
Especially when it's a dick in a butt.
but I was
That's
really
what-
right. I was really happy because I got an Amazon Echo and it's pretty awesome. Anyway, moving on. Guys, thank you for joining me. I did bring the Riders of Rohan with me. I did bring the monk who washed up on the broken shore looking like fucking Tom Hanks.
With a volleyball named Wilson. I am looking pretty homeless.
Except that your Ninja Turtle would be Wilson, right?
He is Wilson. That's a good point. He's even got the smile on there. So would that make me
Donatello? The hell?
Timmy Hanks? Timma Hanks? I don't know. I need to shave. You're right. I purposely didn't shave. What's your saying? If you didn't meet someone with a beard, they shouldn't wear one because they don't look right?
Generally, yeah. I mean, well, I think it depends. I would look really good with a beard, and you guys have never seen me with a beard before. So,
Well, don't you get to rock one tomorrow at the Christmas party?
No.
No.
There's no beard at the Christmas party. I mean, I'll see some of my family this weekend. One of them might have a beard as a female.
No, in game, Santa Bell.
Oh, yes, you're right. Tomorrow I will. Well, I have
A metaphorical beard.
I have my festive outfit. I have my ugly sweater, and I have a cool pair of red pants that look like it goes with that outfit, but it really doesn't.
So it's just a regular sweater just with you in it.
Right. And I have the old version of the hat. We'll talk about that when we get to our weeks in WoW, and I talk about my frustration with that hat farming. Anyway, we're glad you're here, Gemma.
Good talk.
Thanks for having me.
I did also bring the priest who is trying to get a job at Blizzard, but unfortunately he's going to have to work for free because he's been doing lots of PTR testing. I don't know why, because he wants to go the extra mile and be a better podcaster.
I want to make the game great again. Okay. No, and because they actually made a call out for it, so that means it's semi-serious. So I've just been doing a lot of the testing on random levels, like where I ran through Elven Forest into Westfall, and then I transferred over like a level 50 and ran around on like the low level zones. Like Duskwood at level 50 was really different.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you like that? That's what you did, the leveling?
That's why I'm actually excited to level and with this new scaling.
I'll be doing that this next week because I'm doing a video on it. So yeah, I'll be doing that next week.
That's cool.
PTR, man. It's good vibes, good vibes. Speaking of that, actually, we won't talk about that right this second. Let's talk about what we have going on for the news this week. Obviously, the Winter Veil is still going on right now. We had a commenter, I think it's Alex. Alex the Great. Alex the Great. She commented and stole Gemma's thunder on how to get the holiday pet. I'm not going to steal his thunder, though. I'm going to let him talk about that in his segment.
Gemma Banks was lightning before the thunder, though. So
right. Not for nothing. That's a really good song. That was the first song I added to my new playlist on Spotify. Anyway, totally not important. But I won't ruin it for you, Jim. I'll let you tell people the discovery of how to.
Most people know by now, but yeah,
it's okay. Not
by the way,
I was gonna let you finish, but
he is like Kanye. Like he's a terrible.
So
if you're Kanye and you're Taylor Swift, who would that make me? Please don't say Kim Kardashian.
No, that's not the best scenario.
Oh, it's not the best scenario.
Suddenly, wouldn't you be J-Lo, since he was like, no, Beyonce, sorry. Yeah.
Probably not. I'm going to go with probably not. The reset, which, just so we're clear, because I know people are still adjusting to the new show day, when we're talking about the stuff that's going on for the week, we mean the following Tuesday. So the show comes out Thursday night live, released Friday morning for everybody else, and we mean the following Tuesday, because I've had a couple people correct me and they're like, you were wrong about this week's stuff, and I'm like, no, I wasn't. I was talking about next week's. That way it gives you time to prepare for what's going on next week. So for the 26th reset, Miss Pandaria time walking, which is pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
Question mark. I don't know that I've done.
I like those dungeons, so
I got the pets last one, so I'm kind of done. I guess there's still mounts or stuff.
I mean, yeah, you could farm the tokens, so
visually, Miss Pandaria dungeons are my favorite visually. Honestly.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I really liked a lot of the visuals for the expansion for Miss Pandaria in general. I have a small obsession for pandas, although I'm not a panda, which is really weird. I don't necessarily want to be one. I just like watching other people play pandas. Pandas are really fun in PvP because it's really hard for me to want to herd a panda because they're so cute and fluffy. And then the real me comes out and it's like...
Yeah, Ben Stiller has that same problem.
Whoa.
You haven't played one panda?
I had a panda. I think one of my tunes used to be a panda and I race changed to a gnome maybe. I don't remember.
What?
Mm-hmm.
My priest at one time was a panda.
That makes me want to level a panda for some reason. All of a sudden I'm getting the inkling to want to level.
That's the thing with WoW is like you go through these urges of like I want to level this class or this race or whatever, and then you do it for like a day and you're like, oh, I'll play my main.
Like and thank you for the Twitch subscribe, dude.
Is that
Who's that
It's
guy?
our-
He
it's
sounds
our
like a
dude,
swell.
man. It's our
he
dude,
sounds
man.
like a swell person.
It's our dude, man.
salute? I can't read. I
want
trying
to
to
bring him
find-
back as a guest on the show. Do you think he would want to come back on the show as a guest?
Of course he
Or
would.
would like the two lore guys like fight it out, and would there be like a rumble, and then it
It
would be
will-
like Highlander where there could only be one?
It will not be an Asmongold Lycan rematch type of scenario.
Like I would love to just see that brawl in general. Like I would love them to just like go head to head with the lore situation. I'm feeling like we're gonna have to make that happen, guys. So
Well, Mike and I wouldn't brawl. We would brainstorm and have fun.
not in my head. In my head, you're brawling. You're not brainstorming.
I know. Like
You're not helping my situation. Dang.
I was
If
trying to put
you-
the letters together.
Those
I
of you
couldn't.
that are not watching live and that are listening or watching on YouTube, if you want us to bring Lycan on for a guest appearance, and if you want them to fight like to the death, comment or shoot me an email, slide into my DMs like wherever possible.
He's got a cane. I have the upper hand.
Valid as fuck, actually. The PvP brawl is, I think it is Warsong. For some reason, I put
Warsong Scramble.
it is Warsong Scramble.
Ooh, I might have to play.
That
some
is the
Hunter.
That one was
26th
fun,
to
yeah.
January 2nd. I don't know that I'm trying to remember if I actually did that one or not.
It's got the 3 flags on each side. It's
Oh,
great
I
if
did
you
do that
want
one. That
to
was quite fun.
rep
I
with
liked the fast-paced of it, fast-pacedness
Yeah.
of it, because oftentimes with the flag carrier maps, they're super slow, and you're spending
And the
forever with half of
turtle
the
and-
map
yeah.
fighting on fucking roads like morons anyway, and not following any type of strategy whatsoever. But I did like that one because of the fast pace.
There's a strategy for it.
I mean, there's supposed to be, but there isn't. Not
Listen to
currently.
me.
Also, guys, holiday sale. Get your game code license things.
Oh yeah.
I
you
think
know,
Diablo's on sale for like 33% off.
Diablo.
Pets are all the pets and mounts are 50% off. And those god awful helmets. Those helmets.
Hey,
Those
helmets
were
are cool.
If
okay.
Hey,
I
have
see
that
anybody
Diablo
wearing
firing helmet.
those, guys,
No,
you're getting beat
now that you
up.
mention it.
The people that buy those helmets are the people that got beat up in high school.
That is not true.
Just kidding. No,
Okay,
seriously.
so full disclosure, I did not get beat up in high school, and I have one of those helmets. Okay.
I think it was one of those things like when they came out, everybody was like, whoa, dude, like I really have to have those. But then you just realize it doesn't really go with a lot of the outfits.
I mean, that was 100% of it. Like, I'm like, okay, so yeah, this is a really cool idea. And then it's like, it doesn't really go with literally
Asha
anything.
said Rick had bought them tonight.
He did.
So
He
many
did.
people are going to send me hate mail for that comment. So many people are going to send me hate mail. Guys, if you bought the ugly helmets, it's okay. But now's the time to really buy the ugly helmets because they're on sale. So you want to really take advantage of that. Also, the Blizzard Gear Store has a sale of 20% off if you use the code Blizzard Buddy. So go get your
All caps.
banana hammock and type in the code
There
Blizzard
is
Buddy.
no banana hammocks
There is. Yes, we have no bananas. Yeah, there's no banana hammocks.
or hammocks.
We tried to lobby for those recently at a Wild Bangarang, but apparently
Bangarang.
they weren't. I tried to lobby for Nightborn leggings because they did a bunch of Legion leggings, and I was like, "What about Nightborn?" And he was like, "Yeah, we were going to do them, but we just decided not to." And I'm like, "Wow, cool. I'm not buying anything."
See, hashtag not fan favorite.
Excuse me. It is the fan favorite. Okay. Also, I just want to put a little thing in perspective for those of you who watch the news, read the news, see stuff come across your feed. It's very important that when you're getting news that you understand what it is you're receiving news related. So WoW had posted a thing about the encrypted Battle for Azeroth Alpha CDN that was added recently to the Battle.net app, right? They added the background for it, which in case you don't know what that means, it's basically adding the background for the game to be loaded through there. We knew that at some point we were going to see Alpha for BFA anyway, so it's not too big of a shock. But if they're going to go with the timeline, whether I'm right or August, whichever timeline is correct, it still needs to be an alpha relatively soon because they have 2 versions of alpha. They have an employee alpha, and then they have the friends and family alpha. Then after that, it goes to beta, which is, you know, they start pulling people and then they give codes out. Wowhead gives 300 beta keys away every other week and all that stuff. So it's just important to realize that although they found that, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's happening right now. It likely means that they're probably doing employee testing. They might even be getting ready to start doing friends and family. We don't really know what that means, but it does not mean it's coming out tomorrow. And it doesn't mean anything on a serious note. It just means that they're preparing for it. This is part of the reason that Blizzard probably doesn't do this stuff until they absolutely have to, because this data mining is out of control.
Yeah, it's actually why, yeah.
I mean, they can't do anything at all. And when we talk about the allied races, I want to prep you ahead of time. I need you to be ready when it comes to the Dark Iron Dwarves and the Zandalari Trolls, because I have questions about why that stuff is not being developed right now. And I have a theory, but we're going to talk about that when we talk about the allied races. Rem might already know where I'm going with that, hopefully, question mark. But, yeah, so...
We'll see.
Do you? No?
Said we'll see.
Blink once for yes, twice for no. Did you blink? Okay, something really funny. Wow had posted this thing about, I can't ever say his name, and I don't want to say it wrong.
Just try.
Help me out here. Help me out here, Ram. I know you read it.
Ram?
Read what? I don't know what part you're on.
Gosh.
Sorry.
The charger. What's his name?
Tyrael.
Oh, Tyrael.
Okay, so I say it wrong. That's why I didn't want to say it, because I say it wrong.
Wait, what were you going to say?
I'm not going to say it. But his charger was available for purchase in Taiwan. Listen, you could go to the link in Taiwan with a US and EU account, and you could buy this charger for like $650 and whatever Taiwanese money is, and it converted over to like $22 American and like 19 pounds or some shit. Mm-hmm. So people had bought them, set the region to EU, US, and got their mounts. Like some people got them right away. Other people, they said something about a 72-hour wait. They've recently removed that button from their website after WoW had posted their thing. They promptly removed it. But originally this was, you had to buy Diablo 3, right? To be able to get this mount.
Yeah, it was buying Diablo 3 and then like a year's worth of subscription to WoW. There
was a lot of salty people. A lot of salty people that were like, I had to work and shovel in the snow for that mount, and you're just selling it to people in Taiwan. Yeah, they were pissed off.
Yeah, it wasn't like anything special per se, but I missed out on that opportunity, and I kind of upset about it. But I
don't have one.
No, I was like, why would you do that? Don't bring that back. That was something special for that one time.
Can't
do you
we
have
all
one?
Be special?
Belle?
No, I don't have one. No.
I guess I'm the only one who's special here.
It was during Kata, I believe. Yeah.
I wasn't playing during Cat. I was at the top of the list of not playing anything. World of Warcraft.
And that was a time when I couldn't afford all that kind of stuff. It was high school.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, it's really funny to me that people get, and I understand, right? I get it. What did we get? We got the Fell Hunter mount, and we got the Fell Puppy pet, or some weird shit for getting the Legion collection, which I did not get. That was actually a birthday gift. Because
also the digital upgrade thing you can still do. So
well, I got that digital upgrade was a birthday gift because I think if I don't remember why it was a birthday gift, but it was a birthday gift.
Well, happy birthday.
Oh, you guys got a whole month to prepare. Don't worry. We're actually going to skip my birthday this year because.
Well, hitting 40 is
you
not
only turning 28.
I'm on the wrong side of 30, guys. I just feel like I don't need to have a birthday at all. I would just pretend, I would just like to pretend it doesn't even exist.
All right. It's Donovan's, Remedy's and I's birthday then. We'll just celebrate Ram and I.
I don't know who Donovan is.
Yeah, you do.
Who the hell is that guy?
Sounds
like an asshole.
For real?
Well, there are people who got that mount, and other people are salty about it, and it makes me laugh a lot.
Well, it's considered an exploit, so are they getting it removed?
No, the one guy spoke with the GM. If it's not an exploit. If it's on there and it allows your region to buy it, it's not an exploit. exploit. It's poor Taiwanese programming. Like, that's not... I
No
could
such
see,
thing.
Like, they went to it, they just selected their region, and boom.
So
like,
did someone put like a 1 instead of a 0 somewhere?
yeah,
when
it
they're
just feels like it was just
something?
it was an error, right? Just a big... Yeah,
It's kind of a big error.
Who... Trogblaster, is your birthday today? Happy birthday. I would do the
Yeah,
truffle shuffle for your birthday,
Happy
but
birthday.
I don't
The
truffle
game
shuffle anymore.
Trog for Nintendo was awesome.
You just like...
I'll do the truffle shuffle.
It's embarrassing.
You have the stage.
Lycan did the truffle shuffle one time pre-show, and I recorded it and I showed it to people because sometimes you have to be careful when Belle's recording stuff for pre-show.
Yeah, like Aja.
What'd she do?
You know exactly what she did.
I mean, you were the one sticking weird objects in your mouth. Anyway.
I was eating.
Moving on.
Anyway.
Okay. Let's get
Continue.
serious for a moment, okay? So let's talk about allied races. But I want to say a few things about allied races before we talk about it. The reason that I've waited to talk about allied races is because it's not coming when patch 7.3.5 drops. I would guess and venture to say that it's probably going to be a small little like 7.3.5.5 that they're going to gate content behind. We're probably looking at the end of this patch before we even see that. If that's even a thing, we might not even see it until 7.4. Here's what I do know. I do know that 8.0 is BFA, right? We already know that that's the new expansion. We're at 7.3.5 as of next month, which I think we're probably on the right track about... What did we say? I think the 16th or the 9th, right, of January. Probably the 16th. It'd be really sweet if we got it the 9th, but the way that they're doing their testing, I'm pretty sure we're looking at the 16th. I think that falls into their timey-wimey 77-day bullshit too.
Timey-wimey, totally.
So we know that we've been told that 7.3.5, like this is basically the last of the content that's coming out, right? As far as this expansion's concerned. We're getting this stuff right now. I don't think we're going to see the allied races until the next patch, which I'm going to go out on a limb here and say is going to start to be pre-expansion stuff. And given the Seething Shore stuff that we went through, and I actually started going through the quest line for Seething Shore, which I'm not going to give anybody any spoilers, but this is kind of end of game kind of stuff. Like this is end of expansion kind of things that we're going to be doing this patch. So that's the only reason we haven't addressed it, is because I want to keep people in perspective of the content. Right now, the focus is going to be on the stuff that's coming out, which next week or the week after will be a comprehensive video where you guys know what I do. I pull all the things from all the sources and make sure that you guys have exactly what's coming out for that patch. Now, while they've data mined all of this stuff, none of that is available in-game. And I know because I went looking. Like, I was searching. I went to the embassy to try to find people. I found some High Mountain Tauren. I found a Light Forged Draenei, but I did not find any of those things. So I think we're probably looking at about March or April before these allied races are going to be any kind of part of our lives, if at all playable. Just want to make sure I stress that, because I feel like people are connecting 7.3.5 with the allied races, and I think that that's dangerous to do that, because you just need to...
You stress too much, girl.
No, I see people that are like super hyped for this patch because they think they're getting the allied races right away, and I don't want people to be disappointed because that's their expectation. And I feel like this is another time that I get frustrated with Wowhead. I love Wowhead now. I have no real choice but to love Wowhead because Wowhead, word, method were things. But I feel like in doing that, they're not excited about the right things. Like, we're getting people amped up about the allied races, but what about the other stuff that's coming? Stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm even without the allied races, like I said before, I'm excited for the new leveling stuff, so I'm super hyped for it.
Yeah, a lot of good things are coming our way. Yeah. Some not so good, but we'll talk about that.
It's more expensive than people realize, so
yes,
keep that in mind, peoples.
Yes. So let's talk about these allied races and what the data miners have found in their... I want to have a moment of silence for Wowhead Weekly for their recent changes. Just have a moment of silence.
Wait,
okay,
what?
We're good. I'm sure you'll Google it on Twitter. Anybody who follows me on Twitter knows I posted a thing this morning. You'll connect the dots. I'm not going to talk about it publicly because I'm not allowed, but it's whatever, guys. The one is not better than the other is all I'm going to say. And those of you who really know me are going to know what I'm talking about. The one is not better than the other. Just so we're clear. And those of you who do know, shoot me an email or like comment slyly that you know what I'm talking about. Or if you have me on Snapchat or Twitter, like let me know that you know what I'm talking about. Because I have to be a good girl. I can't have word vomit all the time, guys. So that just proves you don't know me very well. Rem will get it partway through when I'm talking about allied races. And then he's going to be like, yep. Anyway, allied races, here's what we know. The only information we do not have a lot of is the Dark Iron Dwarves and the Zandalari. So, Rem, I want you to be thinking about this while I'm going through these allied races. I find it weird that these specific two have had very little development. And when I say very little development, like, we know, I think we have, like, names of stuff for spells. Zandalari Trolls has little to no information, like 0. And the Dark Iron Dwarves has, they threw a couple random, like, racial abilities with no description, just names is what they've data mined, and nothing else. No other references, no quest references. We have quest references for the other ones. So my question, I wonder if it's because the Zandalari Trolls and the Dark Iron Dwarves are too ingrained in BFA for them to introduce them pre-expansion. And Rem, I want you to sit and think about that because I don't know much about either side. So I want you to think about if from a story standpoint, if that sounds like the reason they're not put in, it's not because they're not developed, maybe because they're holding that part. Maybe they're... Are you shitting me right now?
I'm kidding.
But I want you to be thinking about that and see if there's anything story-wise that makes
I've been
sense.
thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. So
I got you.
We're not going to talk about those two very much because we don't really know a whole lot about those outside of what we've been told before. But we do know a little bit more about how we the unlocking requirements. There's some general unlocking requirements that kind of cascade over all of them. You have to have purchased Battle for Azeroth. So once again, guys, that's your cue to know that we're not going to be playing these allied races at least until BFA is pre-purchasable, right? Like, it sounds like that might be something they plan on doing, is making it where if you purchase, you get early access, which makes sense because they've done that in the past with other stuff. So pretty sure they did it with the Demon Hunter. I'm in. I mean, I'll give you my money now. What are we waiting for? Fuck, you don't even got to tell me the rest of the expansion. Here's my money. And you have to have a level 100 on the same realm you're trying to create your new allied race once you've unlocked it. So you have to have a level 110 before you can create an allied race. And it has to be on that same server.
Yeah.
Which, I don't really understand that, but I'm not going to judge.
It's the same thing. Same thing they did with the Demon Hunter. It has to be like level 70 for some reason. It's like, okay.
But on the same server, though? So, like, I couldn't go to Joe Schmuck's server and decide I wanted to play there?
Yeah, that part does. I don't like when they constrict it like that, personally. But it is what it is.
I was going to type, but it was I can't type and talk at the same time. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it at all. Like, I don't understand why it needs to be that same realm.
If I were to guess, I would say maybe they're trying to bring back like a community of the servers, like instead of just making a random character on this random server or just kind of scattering your characters to the wind. Whereas where it used to be was like battle groups were like not a thing. It was you're in a battle group, but like your BGs and your world PvP was on that server. Like I still remember on Bleeding Hollow back in the day when Human Death Knight Ray's days was the biggest dick in the world, and he was a Human Death Knight, and everyone would kill him, and they're probably trying to bring like bring in those constrictions for a community, because so you can't just make random tunes everywhere. I don't know. Question mark.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I don't really know that I even would know why they would do that. Just doesn't make any sense to me. But I mean, some stuff they do doesn't. I don't really understand anyway. The heritage armor unlock requirements. We talked about this before because in the when they talked about this originally, I apologize. I'm going to squeak for a second. I'm going to try to mute so you don't have to hear the squeaking. My chair pillow squeaks when I move.
Sure.
They originally said, you know, you have to level your new allied race from, I think, what they start at 10, right? So you level from
20.
Oh yeah, 20. So you level from 20 to 110 before you can unlock the armor, and you have to go through, like, you get a feat of strength and whatever. And then they, in one of the recent Q&As, they made it seem like just any rando could swap to that race and get that armor. But that is not the case, because on the character creation screen, the back-end code checks for certain things before you try to unlock it. For the heritage armor, like the back-end code for the achievement, it specifically states leveled a brand new allied race. So my hopes and dreams of leveling my Horde Bell to 110 and then race changing when that comes out is for naught, because there's no point in me race changing Bell for if I don't get that.
I mean,
I want the heritage armor, dude.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you can level up something and then have it on.
You can only wear it on the tune that's allowed to carry it, though. You can't, like, I can't level it on one Bell and have it on another, sadly. It's only for that character that unlocked it.
Oh, I thought it was like if you level it on that character, you have it for if you made like a Nightborn on that same server. Interesting.
I don't think so. Because that would be weird. It doesn't say anything about that being an account-wide thing, and they said that you could only...
Not account-wide, but I mean, not account-wide, it's like everything, but account-wide to that race. I don't
think so. The way that the description reads...
I mean, if they were doing that, then I would never race change anything, honestly.
Well, I mean, you don't just race change for the armor, right? But there would be one tune that I would want the armor on. I don't know. Well, that'll have to be more in the development. Keep in mind, we're dealing with data mine crap, so...
Because I knew that it wasn't going to be like, you can get the Lightforge armor on anything, obviously.
I mean, if it works that way, then I guess I would still be able to do it. I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to look more into that.
Something up.
Their stuff is, like, super unclear, and I don't even think anybody knows at this point, really.
I don't even think they know.
Now, honestly, using Recruiter Friend to boost an allied race's level will make you unable to get the heritage armor.
That's kind of lame.
I understand it, though, because it's kind of like, I understand what they want you to do. They want you to level all the way through.
I mean, yes and no, but I mean, if you're starting at level 20, you're going back in time anyway. So, I mean, why can't you kind of burn through it?
Because they're Nazis, Rem. That's why. If anything and anybody is having fun...
If I can't have a Void Elf Death Knight, then why are you going to make me go through Northrend, huh?
Well, you can't. Void Elves can't be Death Knights, right?
They can't.
Right. So you couldn't anyway. You were already...
That's what I'm saying. Why make me go through
lost out the gate? I don't know that bothers
dungeons, okay?
I don't know that bothers me. I feel like part of because the heritage armor is considered a feat of strength, it makes sense that they wouldn't allow something like Recruit a Friend to be in effect. And it does warn you when you're trying to give a friend a level in Recruit a Friend. It does tell you that you're not going to get your heritage armor. So I understand, because it's a feat of strength. You get a feat of strength for each one you unlock. Yeah, it says earn level 110 on a newly created character for that race.
I'll just level holy in dungeons. GG.
I mean, okay. What do you think, Boo Boo? Like, I guess there could be worse things, right?
I guess.
They're clipping us. I shouldn't. I said things in chat. Guys, we got to be careful about that. You just have to really be careful about that kind of stuff. Okay. So Nightborn. Obviously, we're going to start with that one, guys, because that's my favorite. Like, that's my favorite.
Not my favorite.
We've already talked about the classes. We know it's going to be Hunter, Mage, Monk, Priest, Rogue, Warlock, and Warrior. And
Really?
It's going to be Horde. Are you joking?
You joke too much.
The racial abilities, I don't understand this racial ability. It's called cantrips. And I'm thinking, what?
Can you trip?
Yeah. Basically, you conjure up Eldritch Grimoire, allowing you mail access for 1.5 minutes. It's not what I thought it said.
What did you think it said?
Well, I'm not going to tell you guys.
You can mail asses, Jimmy Banks.
That's what I thought it said. That's going to be one of their racial abilities. Their second racial ability, which this has been through 2 iterations. It's called Force Shield. Deals 5,000 arcane damage to nearby enemies every 2 seconds and snares them by 50%, which lasts 20 seconds. That's actually been through 2 different iterations where it's completely changed both times. Once again, this could very well change, but this is what's been data mined. The passives for Nightborn are Ancient History. Inscription is increased by 15. Arcane Affinity increases magical damage by 1%. It's not really a lot. And Magical Resistance reduces magical damage taken by 1%. That's also not a lot, but...
I mean, that's any type of those passives can't be more than like 1% or 2 because then it can fluctuate quite a bit.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. The mount is the Nightborn Mana Saber. I intended on having those images for you, and guys, it just didn't happen.
So is it pretty much like a downgraded version of the
it makes me sad.
quest mount?
Yeah, it basically looks like the quest mount.
But a downgraded version.
No, I mean it's the one the one they ride. So
is it just as Grandier?
It doesn't glow as much, but it matches the armor. So I'm gonna look pretty sick, like rolling down the street with my homies on my Mana Saber in my Nightborn neighborhood. Like I'm gonna be looking pretty sick, sipping my arcane wine instead of my juice. Guys, I just totally invented my new rap video that's gonna be coming out soon, featuring #fanfavorite. The unlock requirements, obviously we knew it was to be exalted with Nightfallen, so those of you who hate fan favorite Suramar, if you want to...
I mean, it was a requirement before anyway, so I mean, just do it.
And you have to have Good Samaritan done, which is the Suramar campaign. It's really easy.
Samaritan.
What'd I say?
Samaritan.
People know what I mean. And you have to do... there'll be a quest line with an ending scenario. And unfortunately, I read the questline stuff, so I spoiled it for myself. I've been avoiding... That's why I waited to do the Allied races, because I didn't want any spoilers, but I guess that just comes with the job. But the ending scenario is... Is that considered a spoiler if I tell them where the ending scenario is?
Spoilers!
Could be.
Is it? Well, if you don't want to hear where the ending scenario is for Nightfallen, then, like, shut it off or something. Fast forward 2 seconds, because I'm about to tell you. You're going into the Sunwell, which is pretty cool. I read some of the dialogue. I'm sorry I did, because I didn't want to. Did you read the dialogue?
The Nightwell. Why are they going to the Sunwell?
I don't know. Well, if you read the dialogue, you probably
past
already
the
read
2
it.
seconds! Don't say anymore!
Oh, all right. Okay, we're done. We're done. I hate you. And the Heritage armor, of course, is the Shaldorai armor. Guys, I'm really obsessed with...
But why is it called a Shaldorai armor?
I don't know. The Shaldorai always call me lowborn, and it pisses me off. It hurts my feelings. I'm like, seriously, I'm in your city helping you, and you're calling me lowborn? Really?
But you are lowborn.
I know I am, but it's like, can I just be something different in game? Like, it's bad enough I have to be white trash in real life. Do I have to be labeled that in game also? It hurts my feelings, guys. Guys. That's what happens when you have vodka before the show, but I had to. I was on edge. It was needed. Lightforged Draenei, which I think Rem is probably the most excited about next to the Void, of course. This faction, of course, is Alliance. Hunter, Mage, Paladin, Priest, and Warrior for that. Their racial abilities are Light's Judgment. Call down a strike of holy energy, dealing damage to enemies within 5 yards after 3 seconds. It's got a 40-yard range and a 2.5-minute cooldown and is instant. Then they've got Forge of Light. Summon a Forge of Light enabling blacksmithing. Blacksmithing skill increased by 10%. I like that they're adding 4 professions. I appreciate that. The racial 100%. Passives are Demon Bane. Experience gain from killing beasts increased by 20%. Whoa. That's a lot, right? Is that normal?
Yes and no. It's
You just got done telling me it could only be a percent or two, and here it is fucking
no,
20%.
for like a whole deal, like across the board, it's different. But a specific thing it's okay.
I feel like you're
That's
making
like
shit up right now.
no. Orcs have a bonus against damaging for their pets or something other. So I mean, it's not uncommon.
You're not uncommon. There's also Light's Reckoning. When you die, the light avenges you, dealing holy damage to enemies within 8 yards and healing allies. That's pretty sick. Holy Resistance reduces holy damage taken by 1%. The mount is a light forged fell crusher, which is an Elic, right? That's what the Draenei are famous for anyway, is the Elics, yes?
What's in what?
I don't know.
What's
When
an
I was
Elic?
in wherever the fuck we went, Exodus or whatever, I collected 20 freaking Elics from one vendor, so I assumed that was
Yes. Yes, the Alex is
their people. Their people's mounts.
yeah, they like elephants.
But they're not elephants, they're Elics.
They're elegants.
Oh my god. The unlocking requirements are Exalted with Army of the Light, of course. You Are Now Prepared, which is finishing the Argus campaign. Super easy. Most of you have that done already. And a quest line ending with a scenario, which I am not going to spoil, mostly because I don't remember the scenario.
Wow. Oh, okay. I was about to say.
I forgot to write it down in parentheses when I was doing my research. Yeah.
Okay, I'm down.
But you can read the spoilery text, and it'll tell you where the scenario ends. I think they all end in this scenario. The Heritage Armor, obviously, is the Light Forged Armor. What's different about the Heritage Armor for this specific set is there's 2 versions of the armor as far as color is concerned.
Yeah,
which
that's what I found. Yeah.
Because
so
the one is kind of purple, so that speaks shadow to me. Isn't that a little weird?
Yes and no.
I feel like you're not committing to an answer. That's the second time you've said that. I'm gonna need you to commit.
No, so purple isn't really associated with void specifically, but the different coloring could be I don't know what they're planning on doing with that. Maybe because I honestly I don't know with that, but the Lightforged armor it's the armor that Trellian wears, and what's interesting is that's actually symbolizes a high Exarch, so that's like a high tier ranking in the Army of the Light. So that's interesting that they'll give it to us, though.
I mean, I feel like we deserve it, though, right? Like,
well, I mean, maybe you personally, but when we make a character for the Lightforged Draenei, we are a fresh Draenei doing a ritual to become Lightforged. So I mean, that's interesting.
But we don't get it till we're maxed out. So isn't the leveling process part of that like ritual?
You have valid points.
Alcohol makes me smart, guys. Just gonna throw that out there. Maybe that is in fact why they're having us go through that process to really earn that.
Maybe, maybe kind of like go through your trials, but the different coloring, I honestly have been thinking about that.
That is weird. I thought it was super strange because the other one that does the different coloring, I think, is the Void, right? Isn't there 2 versions of the Void?
Nope, there's not. No.
One of the other ones, maybe it is the only. Maybe Lightforged is the only one. Interesting,
guys. I don't know why there's a purple one and a yellow.
Purple says shadow to me. Like, I know it's not supposed to, but it does. It says shadow to me.
Okay.
Because warlocks are purple, demon hunters are purple. If it's
speaking to you, then listen. It's okay.
I didn't say it was like speaking to me. It's not like I don't hear voices all the time, guys. Jeez, it's not like I always listen to the voices.
Only when you talk back.
Right. The next moving on awkwardly is the High Mountain Tauren, the faction's horde. Classes are Druid, Hunter, Monk, Shaman, Warrior. Not for nothing though, the Druid forms are pretty legit. Like I didn't show them here, and it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, they have a Moogle.
The main reason I didn't pull all those images is because I'm doing a video on all of this stuff, so I'm kind of using.
It's a show too, isn't it?
I'm using you guys as my audience for the information that I'm delivering because I'm doing a in-depth video on that. But
no, they have a Moogle. Their flight form is a Moogle. I'm coining that.
I don't know what that is, but I can tell you that their travel
It's an
form's
eagle
badass
with
because
the
the
moose
travel
antler.
form has the moose antlers.
The travel form is a moose.
Well, I don't know what it. I don't know. Just telling you, it has antlers, bruh. Gosh.
It's a moogle. Okay.
What is a moogle?
It's a moose and the eagle combined. Have you seen it? It's an eagle with moose antlers. It's a moogle.
The flight form or the travel form?
The flight form.
Okay, because you said travel form. That's why I was confused.
No, 'cause you were talking about the travel form. I said the travel form is an actual moose. The flight form is a moogle.
The more you know.
Jeez, man. All right, the racial abilities for the High Mountain Tauren. Bull Rush charges forward for 1 second, knocking enemies down for a 1.5 seconds, 2-minute cooldown. That's actually been changed twice, so I don't know if that's going to be its final.
Either way, that sounds really nice for PvP. So
You're right about that, actually. Good thinking right there. The racial passives are the Pride of Ironhorn. Mining skill increased by 15 allows you to mine faster. Mountaineer increases versatility by 1%. Nobody wants versatility, so I don't know why they put that in there. And Rugged, there's 2 more. Rugged Tenacity reduces damage taken by 330. Waste Not, Want Not. You have a chance to loot additional meat and fish. Guys, we have the meats.
okay, Arby's.
I just want you guys to know we got the meats. We do have the meats. The mount is the High Mountain Thunderhoof. Not like we didn't expect that, right? I guess that just was a natural. Most of these were just natural in that process. I don't think there was a whole lot of guesswork there. I'll probably be the Dark Iron Dwarves will probably be the one that shocks me the most because I don't know much about them, but hopefully I can read a book. And
I have some theories on what it could be.
Good, because we're going to talk about that in a minute. The unlocking requirements are exalted. Let me try that again. Exalted with High Mountain Tribe, and Ain't No Mountain High Enough, which you should have done that anyway. And if you didn't,
and there ain't no valley low enough.
I want to preface. Well, I guess this isn't really a preface. It's like a mid. I should have said this in the beginning. This is listed right now in the code as account wide. So the question was posed, is this faction specific? Meaning if I did all this stuff on Alliance, do I then have to do it all again for Horde? Although right now it's labeled as account wide progression.
Well, maybe you have to get a Horde up to 110. Because that achievement is account wide. You just have to have a Horde at the top level, maybe.
I don't know. Somebody asked that question and it made me think, ew, God, if I have to go through all this stuff on a main on Horde, I'm going to shoot myself in the face. I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm pretty sure it's account wide. It's labeled as account wide in the code now. I can't imagine that Blizzard would deal with that many angry people because people would be really angry. And I feel like this is one of those things where it's okay to be angry about this, like just this one thing, because it would be a lot of work, especially for one person in particular who doesn't do a lot on the other faction side of the world, except try to buy and sell in the auction house and then
get it stolen.
Yeah, and then basically get it stolen. And then there will be a quest line that you'll have to go through. I spoiled myself for that quest line. I'm also not going to tell the scenario. Well, I guess I can. If you don't want to hear the spoilers, don't listen in the next 2 seconds. Just mute it. Whatever. You're going to do a scenario at Thunder Bluff? Is there a Thunder Bluff?
Yeah.
Then that's
Thunder
where
Bluff
it's at.
is the Tauren.
Yeah, Thunder Bluff is where the scenario is going to be located.
The entire scenario?
Yeah, well, the ending. Each one ends with a scenario.
Oh, then that's not really a spoiler.
Well, I don't know. I'm just letting you guys know it ends with this. That's what it ends
It makes sense for the Tauren to end
The way that these quest lines are built, it's basically you going through things to learn about that race, and all of these, both faction leaders are going to deal directly with these races, right? So Anduin's going to be dealing directly with the Alliance side, and Sylvanas is going to be dealing directly with the Horde. They're going to be directly communicating with with these guys as we unlock them. And basically what ends up happening is the Taurens will pledge their loyalty, you know, and the Void Elves will pledge their loyalty to Alliance, and you'll have to go through that kind of motion to unlock each of those, which I think is pretty cool for immersion's sake. That you get to kind of just be part of that, where you get to pledge your, you know, your undying love and loyalty to Anduin.
Manduin, yeah.
I'm going to have to pledge my loyalty to frickin' Sylvanas, but I'm going to do it because Nightborn, guys, it's totally worth it. I don't even mind. And the armor, obviously, is the High Mountain armor. There really wasn't a whole lot more places for them to go besides the High Mountain armor, and yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much what my Hul Mountain is.
Isn't that what Ebonhorn was wearing, too, when we battled, or was he naked? I feel like Ebonhorn was naked.
Why were you thinking
I don't know. I just feel like he wasn't wearing very many clothes when we went through that. When we did the scenario as him, I feel like he was not wearing...
He's wearing robes or some shit.
I feel like he was just wearing a pair of roos. Like, I don't feel like there was a whole lot of clothing going on.
No,
can anybody confirm or deny? Anybody that's watching? Anybody that's watching, I need you to confirm or deny if Ebonhorn, when we did his scenario on High Mountain, if he was wearing any kind of clothes. I just remember him being super dark.
He's wearing a kilt.
Is he wearing a kilt?
Yeah. He's got braces on and a kilt.
I think Jim should wear a kilt. What do you think, Jim?
I could rock one.
Would you wear one though? Like, real talk, if we bought you, like, if let's say me and Rem went in on a custom embroidered kilt. Do they embroid kilts?
Probably not, just because it could be offensive to.
What if it's got a maple leaf on it?
No, it would be offensive to Lycan. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just joking. I don't think that'd be offensive, but yeah, I don't know if I'd rock one just to prove I could, but I.
No, what was his name? The Come Before the Storm podcast, Cuddles.
Oh yeah, Cuddles wears that every year.
He's rocking a kilt.
Oh man, that guy was
the look
funny.
on my husband's face when he picked up Lycan from the airport and he was in the kilt.
Oh yeah, right. The classic shot of him on your couch. I laughed so hard when I saw the picture.
I just avoided looking down the whole time because I wasn't sure what was going to happen next. It was one of those scary times in my life. Next up is going to be the Void Elves. Their faction is Alliance. And the classes are Hunter, Mage, Monk, Priest, Rogue, Warlock, and Warrior. The racial abilities are Spatial Rift, rip a hole in space and time, transporting you to the targeted location. It's got a 100-yard range. Currently, I'm pretty sure they're going to nerf that because that's what they do. And it's got a 2-minute cooldown. Their racial passives are Chill of Night, reduces arcane and shadow damage taken by 1%. Entropic Embrace. Your abilities have a chance to empower you with the essence of the void. That sounds super on the cusp of dabbling and getting overridden by void. I lost my words there for a second.
I figured.
What does it mean when you succumb to void? Is that what it would it be called?
If you succumb to the void, you die.
I think the void walkers aren't dead.
That's not. There's a line between listening and utilizing the whispers and succumbing to the whispers. If you could succumb to the whispers, you die.
Well, that's how I got 2 of my 5 children. So just throwing that out there.
But no, what I find interesting about that, the description is they just say empower you with the essence of the void. They don't like give like a percentage or what the actual increase is, or
maybe it just makes you look like Veruca Salt from.
Honestly, yeah, that might be just a visual aspect then.
Yeah, I feel like you're just gonna look like a giant blueberry, which I'm in. Like the color purple's my favorite color. So
yeah,
thanks for clarifying.
I'll totally look like Kilton. I'm down.
Oh. Did you not, you didn't get the Veruca Salt reference?
Well, it's one of my favorite movies. I can't believe I didn't.
I know. I've heard you even reference it before.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Grandpa Joe was milking the government. As soon as Charlie got the ticket, he just pops out of that. He's like, yeah, let's go. He's clearly milking the government for checks. Willy Wonka. Anyways, moving on.
Oh.
That's the original movie showing our tax dollars at work. Just throwing that out there in a kind of a they were like
anyways, kind of, ethereal connection.
Okay, ethereal connection reduces the cost of void storage and transmogrification by 50%.
That I'm excited about. I can't disclose how much gold I put into transmog.
But do you even know?
I was just gonna ask. I'm sure
I've
it
not
should be
not once have I ever even looked at the price when I do my transmogging ever.
There should be a stat.
It's like 5 to 10 gold per time.
Well, you have to look and then always unclick your bracers when you're putting your set. Oh, I guess you customize sets, but if you
I do, and my bracers are not included in that transmog.
yeah, because every time I
well, they
pick a
are for
set,
certain mogs because some bracers are visible depending on your gloves.
fair or like race or whatever, but
Yeah.
it seems like my braces are always hidden, so I click it so I don't have to pay for
I've
it.
never once paid attention. I, until this moment, forgot they charged you for it, to be honest. It's one of those things where I've never paid attention.
That's chunky.
If I'm on an alt, I'm just like flipping around like, okay, yeah, I'll change out my gear. I'm like, oh shit, I don't even have enough gold.
All of my alts have like 50 or 60K on them, even if I never play them. And
be
it's
careful of how much you
specifically
sell.
for transmog gear in the auction house. I have a shopping problem when it comes to transmogging. My stuff's got it. But to be fair, guys, I have really good transmogs. Like, not even joking. I've got, like I said, we got the meats and I got the transmogs. It's pretty good stuff. And the final passive for the Void Elves is going to be the... Is that
You're on your own. You're on your own.
Is it preternatural? That sounds like the weirdest word ever.
That sounds something kinky.
It's not preternatural. It's not. It's
preternatural.
Just have Rem help you. He's fine.
We don't really know how
Preternatural.
to say this, guys. I promise we're professionals. Preternatural calm. I don't really know what that means. Your spells cast are not delayed by taking damage.
Side note, that's actually pretty fucking awesome for PvP as well.
Well, take it easy, Rem.
Preternatural is
The natural Peter.
I don't know what that word even means, guys. I swear I have 2 college educations. One is not mine, but it's mine anyway. The mount is the Star-Cursed Void Strider, which basically looks like a giant chicken, purple.
It's a Hawk Strider with Void Talon-esque stuff
Looks
to
like
it.
a
Yeah.
fucking giant chicken. Looks like the rooster.
It looks more like a giant swan than a rooster.
Maybe. I don't really, it's gold too, and I don't like gold and purple together at all.
Well,
Why not?
why not?
I think gold and purple's so tacky. When I see females with gold jewelry and it's got purple stones in it, it's so tacky looking to me. It looks so tacky. I do not like it.
You're
But
tacky.
I'm also a sterling silver type of chick, or a white gold, or a rose gold. I don't like regular gold, but yeah, I don't
What?
particularly fancy that combination. But a lot of people like it, and it's cool.
You're tacky.
You know, the unlock requirements, which we talked about this before, and Ren was like, I don't know why they would have to be exalted
It
with
doesn't make
Argusian
sense.
reach. Well, I don't know, bud, but they do.
I mean, it is what it is, but it still doesn't make sense. It's only because that quest is tied to it. That's the only reason.
And you also have to have the You Are Now Prepared, which is the Argus campaign, and then you will also go through a quest line that ends. I don't actually know if that one ends in a scenario. My assumption is that it does, because I think all of them do,
Yeah.
but
It's
I know
all
you
like a
went-
scenario thing.
I know you went through like a huge list there, but like, isn't most of it just going to be pretty much straightforward? Like, we have most of those already, don't we? Most of it?
well, a lot of people don't, though. A lot of people ignored a lot of different parts.
Yeah, I wonder how far behind the ones.
Especially
I am.
new people that maybe didn't know that they should just go do all the things right
Yeah.
away. You know what I mean? Some people just might have skipped around to level with their friends. Some people might have boosted and just didn't pay attention. Maybe they just did only dungeon leveling. You know, it just depends.
Oh, thank you.
But yes, outside of the quest lines, we should be pretty good to go, which was important that I wanted to make sure everybody knew.
By the way, preternatural, beyond what is normal
Is
or
it
natural.
preternatural?
Yeah, but there's actual definition beyond what is normal or natural
Why don't they just say that?
because they have to be fancy with their
English
wording.
is hard, guys. English is hard. Next,
I'm going to
which
use that in a sentence.
we don't know a whole lot about the Dark Iron Dwarves. We know that they're Alliance.
Really?
We know that they have racial abilities. We don't know what they mean, but their racial abilities are Dungeon Delver, Fireblood, Forged in Flames, Mass Production, and Mole Machine. We don't know what their mounts are. We don't know what their unlock requirements are. We don't know what their heritage armor is. We don't know shit.
Well, we don't know the name of it, but we know what it looks like. based on what they showed at BlizzCon.
Well, yes, but no. Zandalari trolls, we know they're horde. We know that one of their classes is a druid. We know their travel form will be a raptor. We don't know anything else. We don't even get racial abilities for these guys. Now, my theory is that the other races will be pre-expansion. I think we will unlock them whenever we do the pre-expansion events, or the stuff that's labeled End of Legion pre-expansion stuff, because there'll be a finite line where it'll be the End of Legion and we will then be into pre-expansion. Newsflash, guys, we could be in pre-expansion for like 6 months. Just because it's never happened doesn't mean it won't happen. I think we did, what did we do 3 months before? Our last pre-expansion stuff was 3 months long? Yeah, so we could have 6 months where they could give us 2 full patches of pre-expansion content. We have no idea what we're walking into. We're treading new water because, you know, their model worked really well with Legion, but I have a feeling that we're going to be surprised with the way that it works. But I think the reason we haven't seen the Zandalari trolls and the dwarf stuff isn't because it's not worked on. I think it's because it's not in, because it doesn't need to be for the PTR stuff.
Oh no, they wouldn't unveil it without having everything done.
Right.
Like,
so
yeah.
well, I mean, they would, because Blizzard's done that before. Warlords of Draenor, but
not with this. They're very, very precautious nowadays. I can tell with the.
I think because both of those are specifically linked to Battle for Azeroth.
Exactly, they're deep in the
reason.
patches. Yeah.
Yeah. So because keep in mind, Blizzard didn't release all this information I just told you about. You know, how to unlock the requirements and all the Wowhead stuff on the model viewer, where you can see the characters being created in there. They pieced together all their crap and made their own like in-game creation. They even like they even have a view of the creation screen because they pieced that together with the back-end code that they get. So this isn't Blizzard who gave us this information. This is data mining that pulled this information.
They know how data mining works, so essentially they did give it to us.
Right, but I think the reason we haven't seen the other 2 in PTR is because the stuff that they added in PTR wasn't necessarily for this patch, but rather underlying stuff. Probably preparing for when this patch is live. And then it doesn't make sense for us to test the allied race stuff during 3.5 when that's...
No, they've done it before where it was the prerequisite for the Mr. Pandaria or something other.
Right, but they did it at the end of, like, we didn't get that content till the end. We didn't get it right when they released a new patch for this current content is what I'm saying. Like, they basically put stuff in to lay the groundwork for probably the next level of testing that'll happen.
Yeah.
That's my theory, and I'm glad Rem kind of supports that theory that it, you know, that could very well be that they have this stuff developed.
Don't put my name out like that.
Wow. Now, I have a question for Gemma Banks. Of all the allied races, what are you looking most forward to? And I already know what you're going to say, but I'm going to let you say it.
The Canadian Taurens?
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
I almost need to see like the image of all of them. Like, I just really liked a lot of them. I don't know if I actually picked a favorite one. I just really like the way the Canadian Taurens look, the high mountain.
I expected him to say the Zandalari troll, honestly.
I actually really did like that because I mentioned before that I didn't really play any trolls. Like, I played a lot of Horde where I had one of everything other than a troll. So I did, and I made a comment before of how I like the Zandalari trolls. But yeah, I'm just excited to try the leveling and kind of, you know, try out all. I'm not going to try out all of them, obviously, but just like kind of like dabble in a few and maybe I'll get hooked. Kind of like the monk, right? Like the monk was not my class before I joined the podcast, right? And I was just like, I go through these phases where I'm just like, I'm really thankful that I play the monk because I just get so much out of it. I know that's not what you asked me, but I'll play a couple of them. What about you guys? Or
well, I mean, luckily, some of these will allow you to be a monk. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I looked for when I wanted to choose what Belle could do. Well, let me not lie. Belle will always be human. I will never not have Belle be a human.
But I don't want to do another monk, though. I don't want to, like, I feel, even though I said the High Mountain Tauren, like, I probably will play a class that I haven't played, probably, or not played that much. I don't think I do monk.
I haven't done a paladin, so I'll probably take advantage of leveling a paladin all the way with an allied race. I'll probably take advantage of that. And then the warrior the same. Because I don't really plan on playing warrior very often, I'll probably do that horde side for the High Mountain Tauren. I mean, I'm gonna have all of them, guys. Let's just be real. Like, I'm trying to pretend like I'm only gonna choose one. No.
I think I'm gonna do the High Mountain Tauren Shaman because that's the only healer I haven't played at a max level. So I think
Shaman's like my top 5.
Well, in the Tauren and the Tauren Shaman combination are very simpatico when it comes to what I would think of a shaman, right? I would think of a High Mountain Tauren as a shaman, like instinctively. Yeah. Right?
Simpatico.
I'm just now you got me thinking. I don't know why.
I know that was the whole point, which is good. I wanted that process. Like the Dark Iron Dwarves, that's my next question for you, Rem. Give me, since we don't know any possible, we don't know any classes, I would automatically assume Death Knight, right? Just because they look like Death Knights kind of in a way. But lore-wise or even story-wise, which I guess those are the same, but not really. Those are kind of two different things.
Mage and Warlock.
Mage, Warlock?
Yep.
That's it?
Are you trolling?
That's their archetype for Dark Iron.
Oh, really?
The reason why dwarves are able to be warlocks is because of the Dark Irons.
Think there'll be a paladin? Or is that crazy talk?
No. I don't. If they allow them to be paladins, that would be surprising. We're gonna be honest.
Well, listen, there was a lot of things with these recent races that are mixed together that were a little surprising. I don't really think they're gonna come out with 2 classes for these races. I don't see that as a possibility at all. So I'm gonna need you to stretch yourself outside of your story boundaries and see what possible stuff.
Oh, maybe like all of them.
Just ones that they could potentially be.
Well, Dark Irons would be priests for sure because Shadow Priests are very in depth with what.
Or you meant what you would choose? Is that what you meant?
No. Dark Irons priests. You have Discipline Priests, which is the balance between light and dark, and Shadow Priests. You would have Hunters, Warriors for sure. Their heritage armor shows that very, very well, and Dark Irons are very, very hardy. Paladins, no. I'd be surprised if they did because paladins are more of the very, very, very far spectrum of the light and being honorable and shit like that. Warlocks, 100%. Hunters, maybe. That was more of the Wildhammers and Meriden's Wildhammer clan.
I actually know that one.
Shamans, no. Rogues, yes. Everything else is kind of fair game, but paladins, 100% no.
A light forged Draenei would be cool for a paladin, and then like the trolls, you can do. I couldn't find it. You can do rogue, right, for these new trolls.
So we actually don't know. We did know that the druids were confirmed because they're going to have a raptor travel form, but we don't know. And that was going to be my next question. So maybe he can help you decide what are some possible Zandalari troll mage, right? I for some reason automatically
assume Zandalari mage, makes a lot of sense. The only thing that wouldn't make sense would probably be priest, maybe. Shaman is a possibility, but paladins is more of a want for me. More so because they have a class for it. Like for instance, in the Throne of Thunder, they have a prelate Zandalari, which had spells similar to a paladin. So they had the groundwork for it, but they could build it off of the Loa system. How the Loa is their deity.
That's their spirit, right?
Yeah.
Doing a troll rogue. That's what I'm gonna be.
Yeah, so rogues, druids, your basic stuff, hunter, rogue, warrior, maybe priest utilizing the Loa. Warlocks, maybe. I don't know how dark the Zandalari are at the moment. They have blood priests and stuff like that, so it ties into Hakar. But they could do
Oh,
like
you meant never mind.
what?
You meant you meant dark as in like, are they shadow or light, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think he meant?
I was like, well, that's super racist, Rem.
Oh no. I mean, the trolls are by their voice lines and their heritage. They're pretty much from the Bahamas, but no, not like that. Like, what you talking about,
Who has
man?
the notepad with people we've offended? Because
We need to make an apology list.
I think we're not too bad these days. I think we're a lot more.
I
peace.
have been myself personally. It's usually me. You say we, but it's usually me that offends people. You
And I
guys just
laughed
have
so hard when I was listening to the Spotify version of the episode the other day when you said "effin." Like I forget what you were talking about, but
Oh yeah, she's trying to be PC.
yeah, she said "effin" for "effin" sakes or something along those
But
lines.
pretty much look at what the dwarves are able to play. Dark Irons will be able to play everything that they are except paladins. And then Zandalari, everything but the trolls except maybe priest and something other. Because they can't give them everything. But
I want all three of us to get all of them.
Whoa, take it easy. You mean like level them all up?
We don't have to level all of them, just the ones that matter where we want the armor, right? Where we want to have that vibe. Like I'm probably going to level them all up just so that
I have 3 I'm doing for sure. I'm
You
leveling
have
all
one
the
of
way
me.
from 20 to 110 or 120, whatever the requirement is.
Which ones are those?
Void Elves for sure, Nightborn, and High Mountain Torn.
Oh, not the Lightforged, huh? Or are you going to...
I mean, I'm excited for it, but I'm not like I'm not
You're
like
already a Draenei on your priest, aren't you?
no.
No.
My paladin used to be a Draenei,
Oh.
but I recently just a dwarf.
I think we all just need to level all of them. I really am about those experiences. That's why I have so many alts
Yeah.
that I don't really play often. But I got the class mount on. I got the class haul. I got the artifact weapon. Like I want to go through that stuff just so that I have that, you know.
Collected, yeah.
Yeah, it's really just like completionist type of stuff. I just like to
Yeah.
be able to say I did this and have that perspective from that specific character. But
Yeah.
I think we haven't had anything of this magnitude in a really long time for World of Warcraft. So I'm really excited just for all the like the new.
Yeah.
And like Candy said right now, like she's got the itch, and this is something that's going to happen is as these become available, all of a sudden I'm going to have the itch and I'm going to be Netflix and chilling in World of Warcraft. And
up.
Oh
leveling
my.
up and watching Mad Men on Netflix or whatever the flavor is. But it's really exciting, and I'm glad I got Gemma thinking about that because it gets me. These kinds of things, guys, is what keeps me playing World of Warcraft. And a lot of people, I had to do something for one of the podcasts today where I had to talk about, you know, what keeps me playing. It's this kind of stuff. It's the possibilities.
Yeah.
Even if those possibilities are 6 months away or the end of next year, it's being excited by the possibilities and allowing that excitement to carry me through the moments where it's kind of like lull, right? Like we have little content. I mean, right now we're raiding. That's great. I don't really care for raiding, right? This is not really the fun part of what I enjoy. So I have to find little things to kind of keep me into it, and stuff like this with just dancing around the possibilities in my head and just prepping myself to know that there's going to be a level grind, excuse me, that's going to be involved in this. Like it's those kinds of things that gets me amped up, guys, on fucking Mountain Dew.
We really did need the raid, to be honest, because I was going to say the raid too, but then to your point, if without the raid, like you need some more.
I mean, I could live without the rating.
Yeah.
I have enough. Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff to do, honestly, where I still have tons of stuff to do to get me through until the next expansion. That's why when people say they're bored, I don't understand. And that's how I know that they're not really living their WoW life to the fullest.
Well, I think it just depends, right? Like there's to like complete everything.
I think
like
there's
obviously there's stuff to
untapped
do.
things that would get you excited and into that. And I think oftentimes we forget to look beyond that. Like,
yeah.
Example, those of you who know me and who've been watching us for any period of time know what I do in between each expansion when there's a lull. I find stuff that I wasn't normally into, things that I would normally never have done before, I make that my focus, whether it's a really long meta achievement or if it's, I think, what did I do at the end of Warlords of Draenor? I did my fishing, right? I completely maxed out all my fishing stuff and got a shit ton of achievements. I did the Nat Pagel
I was
thing.
gonna say you have the artifact for fishing, don't you?
Well, she
I
did
do.
that at
Like,
the
I did a
start,
ton of
right?
stuff for fishing,
guess-
which I hated fishing. Hated fishing. And then I just realized the other day I was talking to Aja about something, and I realized I didn't have the Feast of the Fish recipe, and the way to get it is I have to do some fishing stuff. I have to do the rotating fishing guys that show up in Val'Shara. And then I'm like, oh, cool, I'm going to go do some fishing. That's what I did the other day. I actually got to go back and do it. I haven't had time. I haven't even...
That's something I never hear you say. Oh, cool, fishing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I found something that, although it's probably not going to be my new love forever, right? Like, I'm definitely not going to be at the top of the list of the Stranglethorn fishing extravaganza. Like, that's not going to be...
Get that.
Huh?
The fishing quest or whatever. It's like on a Saturday or
Yeah,
Sunday.
but I feel like that's... People always,
event,
like, win
yeah.
5 seconds after it starts, and I don't understand that.
Because they have it worked out. They have the mathematics. They're quick at math. They're quick at maths.
Yeah, we don't Overwatch, Murky.
Don't read the stream.
He
Or
annoys
the
me with
chat.
that. I'm going to punch him in the chat.
Told you, obviously.
But
What's Overwatch?
in that content lull and me not knowing what to do, I searched out to stuff, and I found something that, like I said, it's not replacing the stuff that I love, but I did enjoy it, and I got a lot of achievements,
Yeah.
and I made a shit ton of money off fish in the auction house.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not saying, go out and fish, but I am saying that sometimes when you do things that you wouldn't normally do, or something that's outside of that, you
Right.
really find other elements in game that you like, and that's the trick to not getting bored in between.
Don't knock it till you try it.
I have not unsubbed from World of Warcraft in,
Since Kata?
actually, yeah, when I came back in Kata. Well, the tail end of Kata. It was right before I started playing again, right before Mists of Pandaria.
Actually, that was the last time I unsubbed too. Was like
And
a
I
5 month
and I have not missed. I mean, maybe a payment might have not went through because back in the day before PayPal, they might have tried to hit my account before paycheck day before I had,
I've never gone to the store to buy the WoW card. Like I've always just
I've-
done a credit card.
Bought in a couple.
No, I just use my card. Now I use my PayPal. The great thing about that is if they charge you before your paycheck, it's a day difference with PayPal. So I love it. Although mucho sadness, my year of WoW ends on the 29th.
Oh wow,
Oh,
it's already been a
for you.
year.
It's already been a year, so I'm gonna have to pay for WoW again.
It's crazy how time flies. I was crushed last December when I had to start paying for WoW again.
I canceled the husband's WoW this morning.
Good.
Surprise!
Then the second he finds out that I canceled it, he's gonna be like,
Did
"Oh
he?
my god,
Oh,
I was gonna log
Because
in
we
level."
talked about that last show. I said you almost should have lied to
No,
him.
I know.
and
I'm gonna tell him tomorrow that I canceled his WoW, and he's gonna be like,
It's
"Why'd you do
okay.
that, bro? I
I'll
was
keep
gonna
him
play this weekend."
occupied.
What does that mean, Rem?
Yeah, I canceled it because I'm not gonna pay for mine and his. Like the only reason I've been okay with paying for his that he's not using is because my WoW is free, but I'm not paying
Right.
for both, and I'm not gonna use my WoW tokens because I haven't had a lot of time in game to like really just do the things that I just want to do, like to just dick around. I
Yeah.
have to do my stuff that I have to get done. My game
working a
time.
lot.
Guys, don't get promoted at work. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Okay, I want to be product manager. I got a business card. Like this time last year, before we move on, this time last year, no joke, was like easy
Cake.
mode.
Yeah.
Like I had no work for 2 weeks during December. It was easy mode because for what I do for a living, most of the companies that we deal with, they go on code freezes. They don't deal with anything after like the 18th of December until like the 5th of January. So that leaves my job pretty much chill. I didn't even take time off last year because it was just like working was a joke. It even felt bad for me to get paid. I mean, it didn't feel too bad for me to get paid, but not enough for me to be like, hey, take your money back. So I didn't take time off this year because I thought it's not going to be that big a deal. Little did I know that my job is actually tougher this time of year because I have to prep their stuff for their code freezes. I didn't know that. Nobody told me this. Nobody told me.
So the message is don't get promoted.
Well, if you're going to get promoted, just know that it's at some point. I
You
keep,
know what you're getting
I
into.
keep talking myself into calling in tomorrow. And just being like, look, there was a 5 Hot Wheel car pileup in my
No, you're
hallway
just.
from my bedroom to my office. I can't make it into work today.
I guess the sick card doesn't work for you as much because you're from home.
No, I mean, here's the
But-
thing. If I called my leadership tomorrow and told her that do you mind if I take the day off? She'll totally give me the day off. Because I don't ever take time off ever. I work sick, I work dead, I work dying. I don't ever, the only time I take time off is for BlizzCon, and in the occasional, I'll take a couple Fridays here and there at the beginning of each year to burn off my PTO, because my PTO doesn't roll over, but my vacation hours
Yeah,
do.
mine doesn't. Either.
I have 416 hours of vacation. That's how much I don't use my vacation hours. So,
Why don't you?
but I've been trying to talk myself into just being okay with just messaging her in the morning and being like, look, can I have, like, maybe I'll work the 2 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the morning. Can I have the rest of the day off? I got to see a man about meat tomorrow. So that's really.
Oh, yeah, you do have your pickup.
I told you we have the meats. Okay. Last thing, then we're going to move on to Jim's segment. In PTR recently, there was Mythic Pluses had a change to the combat reses, right?
Yeah, that was
What's funny is
interesting, yeah.
I didn't even notice the difference in the combat reses in Mythic Pluses versus raids or other items. So what originally happened is they basically made it where all the combat reses were on a shared resource across the entire party. So each player's resurrection ability, all the different separate ones, which is like
Or even the shaman's reincarnation.
My Soul Stone, the Gift of Chi-Ji, Dust of Life, Eternal Guardian, Rebirth, Raise Ally. There's another one that I'm forgetting. It all has the same number of charges per.
Not reincarnation.
No.
Okay.
Isn't reincarnation the shaman's Ankh?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I don't think that's ever counted because that's shaman specific, right? That's
No,
like their
that's why I'm curious.
that's like their special for being a shaman. They get that. Originally, it was an 18-minute cooldown in between reses, and people were freaking out. Like the forums, I read the forums, and so many people were like, "Well, that's it for Mythic Pluses. They're no longer viable anymore. Thanks for ruining the only good thing in the game." Like there's so much trash talk. It's only 10 minutes, guys. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know what that means in a dungeon.
I mean, some mechanics like you have to use it, so I guess.
Don't even think I've ever gotten a battle res in a mythic. So
That's because
I mean,
usually people are talking about like Mythic 15 and up.
Here's the thing. Very rarely, I don't know. I don't really do high level stuff. I've done a 15 and we didn't complete it in the time, but I've done one. I guess if you need to res a tank, then maybe. None of my tanks have ever died, though, in higher level ones.
There's some mechanics where there's so much damage, it's like, okay, let's just refresh.
Usually it's like Cal tanking, I think it's always Cal, or maybe it's Blood Prism. I don't really remember.
I mean, there are some mechanics where it's like so much damage, we're like, okay, just die, be res, and then go back at it.
That takes seconds off your timer, doesn't it? That doesn't sound like a strategy. People shouldn't be doing that anyway. No?
That's better than running back from like 5 deaths.
People are very upset about this situation. Guys, we're going to be monitoring it to make sure it's okay. Make sure nobody dies or... I mean, if you die, you're not going to get res for 10 minutes, so you're going to be okay. I never honestly paid attention to the... I didn't know what the limitations were in Mythic Pluses beforehand to know. Was there any limitations at all? Was it just the same as raid?
Not that I'm aware of.
Because there's 4 minutes in between reses and raid, right? 4 or 3?
Yeah, it's the same limitations as raid.
So they've made changes to it. Well, here's the thing, guys. These are mythics. You shouldn't be just arbitrarily resed. So quit crying about it. Like it's mythics, it should be hard. You should have to go 10 minutes until you can res your tank. If you have a warlock, the warlock has a blue brain.
Make it the same thing for mythic raiding.
But here's the thing, though. I think at this stage, like, Mythic rating has a cap as to its difficulty. These Mythic Pluses do not. So at Mythic 19, 20, 25, if you're relying on that battle res as a crutch to be able to get through a boss at a certain whatever.
Well, it's not really a crutch. It's more of utilizing the things around you.
You can't frost a turd, Rem, and call it a muffin.
I can polish the turd, okay?
Did you say you can?
I will polish a turd, okay?
Why?
Because you can polish a turd.
This is a
Look at
train
Hank.
wreck, guys. This is a train
Very much
wreck.
so.
And I'm
I think you
watching
guys
it
need to-
happen.
You
Gemma,
guys need a refill on your drinks.
let's talk about you got pet stuff. We're going to talk about the Globe Yeti. We're going to talk
Yeah.
about that
Like,
specific
yeah.
winter elusive pet that's only during winter. You talked about the spring one recently.
Oh, the snowy owl.
Yeah,
That's
see,
right.
I
You're
remember
so
stuff you
good.
say, Gemma. You think I don't listen to you, and I do.
I think
I
you
don't.
just like secretly look stuff up too, or remember stuff in case I don't have something for my segment.
No, I think it just comes across my visuals when I'm
What?
doing show research.
What is the snowy owl?
Well, the snowy owl, I'm gonna have to double check the dates. It's just a pet that spawns, I believe, in winter spring area. I hope that's right. But
But where is winter spring, Jim?
Rem, you need to refill on your drink and some more cold medicine. This is your refill
Maybe
time.
he shouldn't be drinking anymore.
I encourage more drinking, Rem. Don't listen.
I
to
don't
her.
because we still have his segment to go, and I need him to be somewhat intelligible during his
Do your
segment.
shot. So, snowy owl, I'll talk about another time, but it is definitely a pet that's seasonal for the winter time, and I gotta just double check the dates. Right, you're getting some support, Rem. Drink more. Today, I got my Globe Yeti. Last week, we were excited. We talked about the Globe Yeti, and we weren't sure how to get it. And I did a little research pre-show, and it did mention capturing. And Belle said, or I said, I don't think it'll be a pet that you capture. And Belle even asked me, like, why don't you think that? I just couldn't see going to an area where there was just a whole bunch spawned or whatever. But it makes sense because it does spawn. It spawns in the globe, the Christmas globe in your respected city, and it would just spawn. I don't know what the actual spawn time is. I probably sat there for about a half hour to 45 minutes. I wasn't like completely watching the globe. I just knew or hoped it would show up eventually, and it did. And you got to just be careful because it spawns in the globe, and it's a low level too, right? So the strategy is pick a pet with an ability that won't kill it, right? The terrible turnip has it. I use my molten corgi. There are some other corgis that have super bark. So I got super hype and I super barked my Globe Yeti, didn't kill it because it leaves it with 1 hit point. I was able to capture my Globe Yeti. And I was going to power it up and battle with it to see the stats at max level, but I chose not to. I just went to warcraftpets.com and looked at the stats instead of wasting. It was 45 pet charms to buy a stone to level it to 25. I was not doing that. I just didn't think there was value in it. But the stats on the Globe Yeti has a nice chunk of health, or a nice amount of health. It has 1506 health, which is slightly above average.
Are they tradable?
They are not.
They're not
No.
tradable.
And I'm glad you asked because you need to go get yours before, I think you said the 2nd at 6 a.m. is when the event is over.
Yes.
So get yours. They are not tradable. You have to get one. And it has a decent amount of attack power, 297. I know you hear me just mumble off a lot of numbers. You're like, what does that mean? 300 and above, or just under 300, is a lot of attack power. So it's going to hit hard. But you're most likely going to be attacking last in the round because it's a slow companion pet. Now, last week I went over some of the moves and I said I was excited because I knew it was going to hit hard, right? The second and third move slot hit very hard. The second move slot has Haymaker, which is a 50% chance to hit, but if it hits, it's going to hurt. And then the third slot move is 100% chance to hit, and it hits hard. It hits a little harder than...
How hard does it hit?
It hits 634 magic
Does it
damage.
hit harder than Aaron Rodgers?
Man, he's... You got to stop. You're throwing me off. He's leaving Green Bay, folks. He's going to a new team. But
spoilers.
spoilers. It hits just slightly under the Haymaker, which makes sense because the Haymaker having a 50% chance to hit, it should just hit naturally because you're gambling, right? So 792 damage is more than half health on like a lot of pets. Like that's a lot of damage done. But only 50% chance. The 100% chance on the Gift of Winter's Veil, 634, is still like half health. So it's pretty good. It's just I don't know how well it will do with the, being so slow and not attacking first. So that's cool. Go get your Globe Yeti. I was happy to get it before show so I could just say I had it, and you've got till the 2nd. Now we've got PvP achievements coming up in the new patch. New ones, and you're going to have to win 10 PvP pet battles with specific families, right? So all flying pets or all mechanical pets. So I thought I'd help you guys get prepped and maybe put together a team because maybe you want to unlock that pet battle tabard. I know the pet battlers do, at least. They're hyped, they're excited. So for flying companion pets, fly high, sky high, right? You need to have a Terraclaw hatchling. If you don't have that in your collection, you're probably somewhat of a beginner pet battler, or you don't, right? So then you're a noob, which is fine. You do have a nice collection, and you've got pets that will, right? This
Okay,
is the
I'm gonna hijack really quick.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so the Yeti obviously looks like a Yeti, but so you have the big Yeti in that globe, and you have the little gnome. So is it like a level 2 that spawns randomly in the globe for everyone, or is it
So if you and I are standing there, it's like quick draw McGraw. You gotta click on it to make sure. So like I was
so it's like per server kind of.
Yeah. So what you could do is, I'm glad you interrupted
okay.
Because what you could do is, if you're on your server and you're impatient because you got raid or you got stuff to do, instead of standing in a globe waiting for whatever, hopefully you've got real ID friends, because you could get invited and then you'll zone into the other servers, which could be helpful. So
okay, cool.
Yeah. Our server seemed like there wasn't many people there, but that was today. The other day when I checked, there was a few people waiting on it. So you might even get the vibe that like there's a couple people there and you might want to move on and then wait till there's like, not anybody there. You can macro it, I think, where you can click it a lot faster as well. But I chose not to do that. Now for these flying pets, because you want to get some of these PvP teams together, I mentioned the Terraclaw hatchling, right? It's so easy to get to your collection. Like you just go to Talador, you click an egg, or you buy it off the auction house for 70 gold. Like it's really low cost. And what I'm going to use is the Terraclaw hatchling, a crow, and a mechanical axe beak. You don't have to use those ones. Like the crow, you could use a Gilnean Raven. It's the same stats. Or there's quite a few good flying pets you can add. Like there's the Falcosaurs, and then there's the moths, right? Moths are good kind of fill-in pets that are just decent, but you need a Terraclaw hatchling. In my early days of Pwnecast, I was pleading. I don't think many people were listening, but I was telling people to go upvote that pet for how good it is for battles, to at least get it into the top 20 for warcraftpets.com. Since then, it has increased. It's got to the top 20, but it needs to be a top 10 pet so people know how good it is. The reason why I chose the mechanical axe beak and the crow or the Gilnean Raven in this example, they're all really easy to get, right? The mechanical axe beak is cool because it has a decoy, so you can drop the decoy and then just do a bunch of damage. So that covers the flying pets. I'm not going to just...
So
hold on. The Globe Yeti has a approximately 27 to 30 minute spawn timer.
Thank you.
In between from when one person clicks it to the other. There's also a macro that you can do /target the Globe Yeti to click it and hopefully beat it before anybody else does. But it's 27 to 30 minutes in between each click. Thank you, Aja, for asking that question, which prompted me to look it up.
Yes, Rem.
So Gilnean Crow is beast and flying? Or what?
You mean the abilities that it has, or
what classification is it?
It's a flying pet.
So just flying. Mechanical axe beak is mechanical and flying,
or it has. So remember, like for a breed, it can only be one breed. It's either mechanical or flying. So
it's not Island of Dr. Moreau, Rem. Okay,
right. And it's not them Pokemon.
That's why I'm asking.
So just to clarify. Well, and it threw you off, I'm sure, because it's called the mechanical axe beak, right? So
because I know I have that with engineering, so I can utilize that then. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, it's a really good pet. So it just has some mechanical abilities, but it is a flying pet. Threw me off as well. It was when it was new, it was very interesting, and I had to kind of like see what it was all about, right? So it's a cool pet. They're all flying though. All those ones that I just mentioned are strictly for flying, to just have a pet team of all flying. I actually think the flying achievement will be easier than some of the other ones, just because the racial or the type for flying is you're 50% faster if your flying pet is above 50% health. So increasing your speed by double almost guarantees that you're going to attack first. So yeah, we talked a little flying pets. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to go through now mechanical. And mechanical is a lot of people's favorite family. Usually it's that or undead. I mean, I guess it depends what you're into. I'm going to pick, or the team that I'm going to do it with are not easy to get pets, just because I like my Son of Animus and my Rocket Chicken. The Rocket Chicken is fast. That's from the trading card game. And then the Son of Animus is from a Ray Drop, which is extremely rare. So I'm going to Throne of Thunder, actually a really nice looking raid. And I'm just using those for cool factor. And because I'm going to be streaming my wins, I'm just going to pick a team of cool mechanical pets. Now, if you need a little help and you want some more helpful pets or easy to get pets, the mechanical Pandaren Dragonling is very easy to get. Also another engineer pet, or you can just buy it cheap off the auction house. It's also great because it has a decoy. Decoy is, again, it just and it's fast as well. So you're going to attack first in most situations. You're going to have the decoy to block 2 hits. And it's just overall, it's just a great pet. I think most of the pet collectors have one at max level. If you're listening, if you're looking for help, go get a mechanical Pandaren Dragonling, because it's great not only for PvP, but to help destroy a lot of pet tamers and just all that good stuff. Also, a little bling can be good, right? Little bling is very low cost in an auction house. The blue clockwork rocket bot is also very low cost, and it comes in a speed version, meaning you're going to attack first. It lays a minefield and it explodes. Menagerie Custodian or an Iron Starlet are also great choices for your mechanical pets. So I know a lot of that just sounds like names to the people that are not pet battling, but if you're interested in some help for the achievements or you need some clarification, just tweet any of us or leave a comment on the show, and of course we'll respond to help you pet battle. Like,
comment on the show and address it to Jim.
Please.
And tweet to @JimmaBanks, because I can't really help you out much with pet stuff, although I'll do the legwork to look, but Jim is definitely the source for those type of things.
For the pet battles,
yeah,
right?
I don't know jack shnikes about any of that stuff.
Whoa, censored Belle.
I'm pretty sure all of my pets in my 3 favorite slots are all dead because I didn't revive them after the last attempt. I tried to get something that was probably way out of my league.
Maybe it was the Thalcasaur mounts that you and I slowed down and did
I know. I never did the PvP because I don't know how to PvP other people, because it seems like my pickins, right? Seems like the choices that I pick, and I know you've done several like things where it's like the optimal comp for most PvP battles.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that yet.
Isn't that kind of redundant?
Aren't you
What's
redundant?
PvP other people.
What did I say?
Player versus people. Other people.
When I was
English is hard, guys. You don't understand how difficult English hurts. It's hard.
It is. It makes no sense.
I used to get trolled because I was, I've said before, I was a console gamer and I came to this computer world very behind the average level of intelligence when it comes to this stuff. And I used to say DPS per second, just similar to what she just said, the PvP other players. So, and they just like, oh yeah.
I did too. I didn't even know what it meant.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all we got for pets. I mean, I'll again help any of you, and we'll cover more teams in the future. But I'm excited to get that pet battle tabard. Hopefully the patch will be out. You guys are talking January.
Yeah, I think we can probably expect the
Yeah.
What did I say? The 16th or the 9th? I'll be surprised if it's the 9th. I lean more towards the 16th. It could be the 9th, though. A pleasant surprise would be welcome. But given the fact that Blizzard shuts down for the holiday, probably not going to happen until... We might not even see it till the 23rd, which would be a nice birthday present, but it's probably going to be the 16th.
Do
you like how I dropped a hint that that's the day of my birthday? So if anybody wants to get me any gifts, guys... Just kidding. I don't want any gifts, but
that's a lie.
Dropping that subtle hint that January 23rd is the day the big cheese is really
But where's your Santa hat? I feel like
I
mine's
don't-
in a tub
dude,
somewhere.
I
Like,
thought mine was in the Christmas box, but like no dice because it's not in there.
nope. Couldn't find mine either.
Well,
No dice.
dang.
Okay. Rem, we're gonna continue on with what we talked about. I specifically did not talk about the embassy that I wanted to talk about because it made sense, especially since they just updated it.
Yeah,
But I left that to you because I'm a good friend.
I appreciate that. And I didn't realize how in depth we're going to go with allied races, but
Did I ruin some of
I
it for you?
no. I have a backup of a backup plan.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Someone
But
didn't
no,
read the show notes.
no, my little, because I mean we've gone for a long time, so my segment is just going to be mostly bouncing ideas off you guys as well, because I want to see what you guys think about some of the things that's going on and what we could be going into. So no spoilers, obviously, with the new allied races, but a lot of the stuff is somewhat new to Warcraft as it is as of right now. High Mountain Torn is new to Legion. Void Elves is new to anything. Lightforged Draenei. Go.
High Mountain Tauren is new to Legion. However, in the High Mountain questline, we went through in the cave scenario where we seen Deathwing. He had dealt with the High Mountain Taurens before, so we didn't know about that previously.
Yeah, yes and no. So Huln High Mountain, who created the High Mountain tribe, that was more of a added after the fact. So during the War of the Ancients, and when Deathwing went up against other aspects of the dragon, up against the other dragon aspects, we didn't know a whole lot about the scenario, and Huln High Mountain was actually added after the fact.
Huh, interesting. So it wasn't in any story previous to that.
No. That's
okay.
Huln High Mountain is completely new. The whole aspect of Broken Isles is completely new, in the sense that there was something still sitting there, like Suramar. I mean, there was a Suramar city beforehand, but the sense that there was a Nightborn still sitting there.
Alcohol and cold medicine don't really mix, Rem.
No, they don't. But Nightborn's still sitting there for 10,000s of years. That's something that we did not know beforehand. We knew that the Tomb of Sargeras was sitting there, and we knew that the Eye of Sargeras was sitting there before Illidan took it. We knew all that. We just didn't know there's a civilization sitting there forever.
You saying the word civilization after you've been drinking, I'm sorry, it makes me happy. Jim was super amused because he was egging you on. Guys, it's not Rem's fault that he is inebriated. It's not his fault. It is completely 100% Jim Banks' fault because he was egging him on pre-show. And this is what happens when boys get together. See, I know my limit. I had one shot and I had one glass of wine. I know my limit.
For the record, he's doing quite well.
He is doing quite well.
It's like
Also,
BlizzCon all over again.
It's like it's like BlizzCon.
Just take a drink, Rem. You're good.
I've been sick for a week. Okay?
I know you're sick. The cold medicine isn't helping. I know. Okay, civilization. Got it. So,
but anyways, so the Lightforged Draenei are something completely new as well. We knew there was an army of the light combating the Void and the Ordgolds and all that good stuff, but we didn't know about the ritual. And I see you, Jim.
What? I'm listening. What's with the ritual? I see you too.
So a lot of this stuff was is relatively new in terms of the lore and the story, but they added the embassies and the PTR, and so there's not like a whole lot of flesh behind it, but it's more of a setting the frame and the groundwork for something that could potentially be better. So we have the embassies and the PTR at the moment show the Lightforge and the Void Elves for the Alliance, and the High Mountain and the Nightborn for the Horde, and how it incorporates into each faction and what they go through and the turmoils that they have to go through to become solidified and become into their ranks. But I was interested into what your perspective was on how that can affect the story from because you guys don't really know a lot of the lore in the story. What was your thoughts on the story in terms of what this does to it? And
you mean us plebs or the people at home? Oh, okay. Oh, I got you on this one.
Well, both.
I'm gonna go first because I know Jim is like, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I really need her to go first because this is a little deep, and it's not even Friday night, and it's a little too deep for a weekend.
We just really do respect your opinion as well. So I'm
no, because
I got you.
I figured this. This was honestly something off the cuff, because we did talk a lot about this stuff going on, and this is only about like the racials. And
the fact that we're allying to them on both sides, right?
Yeah, there's nothing like in depth.
This potentially, and this is just my thought process, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I think this potentially could even have larger reverberations as far as split worlds in general. If Horde and Alliance are recruiting each to their side, how far does that go?
I was going to go into the next point.
Like how far does that go? Which is scary on a all-out war, like. Okay, Horde and Alliance, we're always at war. That is what it is. But now we're recruiting other factions that are not part of that system, right? The High Mountain Torrents are not part of that system. They have their own system. They have their own factions. They're at peace. The Torrents are like, outside of the one guy who's, the only thing I can remember is his warrior prowess was the best ever. It's the only part I could remember out of that whole fucking scenario. But I feel like the consequences of this could be serious beyond Battle for Azeroth, but on an entire world scale, because essentially as Alliance, we're taking these guys to our cause, right? We're recruiting them to our cause. They're basically pledging themselves to us. They're saying, okay, I got you, you got me, like we go together. The same thing for the Horde. I don't know that you could go back to a peaceful existence if you're an allied race that never got involved in the Horde and Alliance situation. Now you're choosing a side. That's scary to me when it comes to thinking about the future and what happens after this battle is over. Is there a clear finite winner? Do we shake hands and walk away? Is one of us slaves? Which I think I talked about that on Azeroth Roundtable.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
That's potentially what I think huge world war. Like beyond Horde and Alliance, yeah, that's a pretty epic battle, but I mean, we're no longer just leaving it to just our factions. We're pulling other people in, and we're basically forcing them to choose. Although we're not saying we're forcing them to choose. I read some of the text. We're basically telling them, pledge your allegiance to us.
Yeah.
Like, we're in a nice way saying, we're going to slaughter all your people and kill you, or you could just, pledge your allegiance to us and we'll love you forever until.
How do you trust them? You just pledge and you're good?
That was my. Man, it's like me and you, Jimma, we are right there, and I'm actually going to let you have that, because that is a good point when it comes to future beyond Battle for Azeroth. Go ahead, Jimma, your point, because that's a good point.
I don't know how you trust them. You just pledge. I don't.
But you potentially can't moving forward. Like, did the Torrents pledge to the Horde because that's their true love? What was their motivating factor for pledging? Because if I can never trust anybody that gives up who they are to join me. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I would never be able to trust that, because you could be easily swayed in any direction.
Well, yeah, if shit gets heavy, like these so-called people that joined your faction, like who says, like, I don't know, you got to be careful who you're letting in your armies or your cliques.
What happens if Alliance loses and, the Void and who is it? The Dark Iron Dwarves, and who's the other? The Lightforged. What if they turn their backs on us because we lost and they want to go? Like, I agree from that point too. Like, I would never trust anybody that would just sway to my cause easily like that. It'd be different if I had a noble cause. I don't feel like Alliance or Horde has a noble cause in this fight at this point. To me, Battle for Azeroth, there's no noble cause there outside of everyone's individual perspectives, but
Exactly. Like for instance, Jim Banks, the Nightborn have a tie-in with the Blood Elves because they both have a hungering for the arcane. They both have a semblance in that regard, so that they can kind of be like, okay, yeah, we can be brothers and fight against our enemies arm to arm. Whereas the High Mountain Torn and Torn, they are from the same lineage. They have the same ideals. That makes sense. The Lightforged Draenei, they're kind of foreign to all of this, whereas they are from Argus. They were the refugees from Argus, and they went through the ritual for becoming a Lightforged Draenei. But in terms of Azeroth, they're kind of foreign to all of this, whereas the Void Elves, they are hashtag spoilers a little bit, they are refugees from the Blood Elves and Silvermoon. So like, what do you think could be like a reason for them to be fighting for our cause, for the Alliance?
Oh, together.
Yeah. Like because they were shunned, or because
I
they
don't know.
want
I'm
to
about
better
that money.
Azeroth?
You show me the money and I might fight for you. Like, I got a lot of loyalty, so that's why I'm saying, like, from that perspective, I would never trust you. But, like, on the other side of that, like, if you show me the dollar signs, I might could fight for you.
I'm excited for the storyline, like of the expansion, because I know like we're thinking it out or just talking about it, but like I can't wait for that expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Like some of my speculations for the Zandalari and the Dark Iron is we know some of the lifestyles and some of the classes that they are incorporated with, but the Dark Iron's like the only connection to the Alliance and to Meriden and all of that is Moria Thursian, where she's only connected to the Dark Irons by marriage to the Thursian leader. I'm spacing on his name. Don't hate me, but she's not really a Dark Iron. She's a Wildhammer, but she's a Dark Iron by marriage. So, like, maybe there's a quest in Kulteris that incorporates Azerite, maybe that maybe pledges their allegiance to us. But the Zandalari make 100% sense because we are going to Zandalar. We are defending them against Zul and his civil war, and we're helping them. But like, what do you think could be a potential like fissure to that?
I don't know. I want to know what the people at home think, though, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's what's
So since me and Jim kind of we might have stole some of your answers, and we apologize, but we want to know what you guys think. So make sure you guys comment below and direct that answer towards Rem, or tweet to him. I mean, he can be stalked. He's not really secretly hiding anywhere.
I'm not. I'm easy to be stalked.
And I already stole his last question here for.
Yeah. I was gonna go into that, but
that's okay. So, I stole that, and that's all right.
So some of my speculations and theories was with them putting in these embassies into Orgrimmar and Stormwind, that opens the possibilities to either future or past races that we've been involved with becoming in the Alliance and the Horde. And so I've spoken a little bit about this before, but the Jinyu and the Hosen during Mist of Pandaria.
The Jinju are the fish people, right? They
look
like
the Jinju
walking fish.
Yeah, so in the last quest or last scenario of I think it was in Thorn of the Jade Forest, you have the statue sitting there. Mm-hmm. And you had the Jinyu and the Hosen fighting against each other. Jinyu with the Hosen, or
fuck the Hosen, but whatever.
Jinyu with the Alliance, Hosen with the Horde, and the the statue of the dragon crumbles. The Shah breaks out.
The Jade quest line. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So you have that kind of altercation. You have Tonka in Northrend that could be tied into the Horde for Torn, because they are of the same lineage from the Yungarl that you actually learned from Miss Pandaria. You have you have a lot of things that are going on in that regard.
So I think what you're getting at is what potentially have we opened the door for future allied races to join.
Yeah, they can create literally anything or pull from the past. You have Tonka, you have Tuskar, you have I'm just
So
spacing
what
on
they're doing is creating more war, which is smart from a Blizzard
not creating more
storytelling
war, but
perspective.
creating more like story for
right.
more races, like
for pushback, for there to be
yeah.
some type of impact there. I like it though, because I think a lot of people were scared because we lost a lot of people in Legion. Like every 5 minutes, somebody we loved was dying, right?
Yeah.
And that was really
dying,
that was scary.
Vol'jin, yeah.
I think like halfway through the expansion, we had talked about like this is end of days type of shit.
Well, I mean, honestly, for you personally, I think you're more upset with Admiral Taylor than Varian.
I have never forgiven. I'll never forgive Rathian for killing. You don't want to know why? Because of all the things in Draenor that were good and bad, a lot of it was bad, but most of it, you know, whatever. That was the one story that stuck with me because I remember seeing like the bones and then the ghosts walking around and then you're reading the journal and I felt so bad. It was like
100%, yeah.
well, you know when in Lord of the Rings and they go to Gimli's people in the mountains, right? And he expects to see all his dwarfs there and they're reading that journal. And Gimli gets really sad because basically all his people were dead and they were killed by, you know, Orcai and orcs and all of that kind of thing. But I just, for some reason, I don't know, that just always like, it hurt my feelings. I was really upset because it wasn't just one of people in the garrison, like all of Admiral Taylor's people dead.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't even get that connection, but now that makes, yeah.
Yeah, I do often
like,
connect.
Reading it is like,
you'll notice things that I really
dead.
like in game is because I've made some type of connection with some type of story that I've grew up with. But yeah, that was really, it hurt my feelings. Like I wanted to avenge him, and I was very angry. I made an assumption that it was Rathian, because they were waiting for Rathian to bring supplies, and then all of a sudden everybody's dead. Which I think knowing Blizzard, they probably want you to assume that, but we've talked before.
It's a safe assumption, though.
I've never trusted Rathian.
But I'm going to end it all on not just what's something you want to play, but based on what you've seen in the game through all the years you've been playing, and based on like a light backstory, what's one race that you would want to have in the game playable based on story, backstory, everything?
Good question, guys. Comment, and you guys have several questions to answer the show, guys. So comment on the show, send an email, send a fax, send a carrier pigeon, slide into Rem's DMs. Whatever way you got to get it in, he needs to have those questions answered. Now,
but no, that brings to you two as well. Like, really quick synopsis.
I really want to see Fell Orcs. I just feel like the story. I
have some stuff to talk about for the Seething Shore, but it's going to take more time than what we have. It's my fault. The allied races was a lot more, and that's the reason I've been avoiding doing those, is because I knew it was going to be a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
so
it's a lot of information.
I was supposed to talk about the Seething Shore. The good news is I have footage that I took. I have lots of info to give about it. I posted on the PTR forums giving my suggestions. I will talk about that next week. I will make sure that hey guys, be happy. I'm going to have a PvP segment. It did feel really good. I will say that. It did feel really good. So let's talk about our weeks in WoW. We are way over time and...
A little bit. Yeah.
It's just a little tiny bit. Gemma, what did you do this week in WoW? I know some of the things because I heard your excitement.
Yeah, and well, I just had fun. I finally got to do the normal raid with the guild. It was part of the fun run crew and the progression raiders. So I had a blast. I always worry though, of course, as a healer and not doing any research like on the fights at all, like it's not good news. So but even so, we started with 3 healers. We lost one because they had to go for whatever reason, which was okay. And the good friend of ours, Aja, and I were the only 2 healers, and that worried me. Someone mentioned like I can switch to heals, and in my mind I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I want a 3rd healer for the cushion, right? But we were able to heal the last couple bosses that we were on. We didn't do a full clear or anything. I think we got like 6 or 7 bosses in, but I just had a blast. Like I really was hurting for item level, and I got to see the fights on normal. I queued for LFR, and I got that boss. I don't know if it's the first boss in the second wing or the second where you have to glide up. You've got the glider or whatever, and
ENR, the Life Finder?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm just agreeing with you.
That boss I basically refer to as the shit show, where I do like 600k DPS, and with 600k DPS, I'm parsing at like 34%. That's how you know how shit that boss is. When you're parsing 34% at like 600k DPS, it's shit. Well,
at least you could find the boss, because I literally was just running around the
pillars. There really isn't one.
So the basis of that boss is it's like a TD mixed with like just running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Yeah. You're just killing ads, and you have to avoid either them going all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom.
It's a cool concept on paper, badly planned.
Well, and I didn't realize when you were low, you just go to there's a teleport because I'm like, oh, how are people getting higher? And I can only jump.
Yeah, there's no like.
Well, I got
holding it all.
LFR was a mess, but obviously with an organized group, we downed the boss, and it's of course after explained, and with a competent group, it's not too bad. So yeah, I had a blast. I went up like 13 item levels because I'm a scrub, and I'm like
nice
3 out of 4 piece. And one thing I didn't do, and I was sad, part of it because our schedules didn't line up, and he's been feeling not so good, is arena. We were really trying to do some arena every week, but I got Brute finally. I got my Brute pet, and then my Globe Yeti before work, before show, and just the rest of the miscellaneous stuff that a lot of us do with the world quests and everything. So yeah, it was a fun week. The raid is super fun. I want to finish it and see what it's all about.
Cinematic's amazing. Rem, what did you do this week? Yeah. I mean, I know what you did this week because we rolled together for part of that week, but what did you do this week?
I did World of Warcraft. I did. So, we progressed on heroic progression. We did through up to Portal. We finally killed that, excuse my language, bitch. Even though it's an easy fight, we gotta get the footwork done for Vermathras, but it's still a fun fight.
You're fucking funny.
I'm trying to be careful here.
You like that fake laugh? Because that's what that was, the fake laugh.
But anyways, we progressed, so that's all that matters.
When you have to break down the barrier of communication and you have to message your mythic raid family to get help on a fucking boss that's heroic, it's embarrassing. Thank God these are my people. And he wasn't even at all upset that I asked him for help. I'm like, listen, I know I'm a scrub and you're mythic, but like we're family. So yeah, I messaged 2 of the method raiders. One of them is melee and the other is ranged, and was like, can you fucking help me? Because we're all dying to necrotic and I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, I did that. No shame, guys. No shame.
You're supposed to.
What's the point of being friends with mythic method raiders if you can't ask them to help you with random shit?
Anyways, on a lighter note, we did progress. We got past Portal Keeper, which is cool because that fight is a pain in the ass. But like I mentioned, where my intro mentioned, I was doing a lot of PTR stuff. I jumped on to do the Seething Shore. Belle did not let me join in with her for her videos. I wasn't cool enough for that. But
I was already queued when you logged in.
I jumped in. You were in the queue. I was like, hey, let's join queues. And you're like, nah.
You never asked me. You're such a liar.
He made all that up.
No, I didn't. Full disclosure, I didn't. I was just
I
queuing
would
alongside.
never deny anybody to. That's awful that you would tell people
I was
that.
fucking with you. But no, so I was doing the season short. It's a very interesting battleground. I like the concept, but I don't like the fact
We'll
that
talk about that next week when I talk about the battleground. Right? Right.
damn it. Okay. I enjoyed it. We won't talk about it. But what I will talk about is the leveling experience is actually really cool. So I made a new character. I leveled through Elm Forest. I went through Westfall, and then I went into Duskwood, and it felt like the same kind of step-by-step process that I did like almost 10 years ago. But I transferred my level, like I think it's like level 50 Dwarf Warlock, and I was able to walk out of Stormwind, go over into Duskwood, and start the questing there. And it was honestly, I didn't think it'd be as cool as it was, but it was just nice to like okay, yeah, I'm gonna quest out here at level 50, even though I'm familiar with it being like level 20, instead of having to, let's say, quest for a little bit until level 10 or level 15, and then kind of jump across to like Red Ridge Mountains or do a couple dungeons and get to 20, and then realize, oh shit, I got to go all the way up to Arathi Highlands or something other. It's going to be a nice concept for that, but that was my week in WoW. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, it's going to be so good when Rem watches this when he's not on cold meds and hasn't had some drinks. It's going to be so good. He's going to message me and yell at me and be like, why the fuck did you let this happen? And be like, listen, I just
blame the scapegoat.
I know.
Jim made me.
I know. I would blame Jim too.
I don't think it's that bad. I feel like there's another level of excitement out of him.
They just get to see the Rem that I see all the time. So, like, it's not really... And he's mumbling to himself. Anyway.
Did you have a week in WoW, Belle?
I raided.
Yeah,
I was supposed to raid with my second raid team on Wreck and Bell, but unfortunately with work and then the holiday stuff, like, we're still not ready. I still have to do... The husband's going to drive me around tomorrow so I can take my laptop and work on the road. We have to go pick up the meat and do prep. But I did a lot of PTR stuff. Some of the stuff has to do with, I'm doing 4 videos over the course of the next 3 weeks. I have the Seething Shore video that should be out. It should be live Friday or Saturday. I have an Allied Race video. And then I'm doing a full video on the PTR, but we're going to wait to release the video on the PTR because I want to give it one more build. So we're probably going to release it like right before they announce when the patch is going to be out. I don't like doing stuff and it not being complete. And with the PTR builds, like even this week, there was new stuff that was added and I don't like missing that kind of stuff. And then I am going to be doing a video on the leveling and the changes. I'll be testing along with Rem, and I'm going to put that into a video so that people know what they can expect if they want to jump into that, which it's good that Rem's doing it.
That. You're being kind of rude.
How am I being rude? I've been doing nothing.
I'll find out later.
I've been doing nothing but giving you compliments. I'm just predicting the future, and you know I'm not wrong. I'm just throwing that out.
I'm interested, and I'm not trying to be funny. It sounds like you had a good week.
Thanks, please enlighten me.
What kind of, is it like a ham you're going to go get? You keep referencing the meat like ham or... Did you think I was going somewhere else with that?
Let's just skip ahead.
Okay, since that's pretty much gonna be the closer, we might as well, and we can. It's festive stuff anyway, right? Yeah. Since we're celebrating the holiday.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah.
So, the other day, my husband randomly turns around to me, and I'm sitting there. My kid's sitting in between us, and my husband said, "Hey, did you look for the meats?" I'm like, and he says it with an S, right? And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And me and my daughter start laughing because I'm really immature, guys. Like, I'm not mature. If you ask me if I've been looking for the meats, like, I'm going to just laugh.
It's your husband. It
right?
Like
it's even funnier. Disturbing that my 16-year-old laughed, but I guess I have to get used to that kind of thing, right? Because she's going to be an adult in 2 years. So I'm hysterically at this point. Like, I have to go to the bathroom to avoid having an accident because I'm laughing so hard. He was referring to, I had been trying to find a butcher to get the prime rib. The problem is I waited too late. Most people order their Christmas prime rib in November. So I couldn't find a butcher on this side of town. I ended up finding a butcher called Hobo Meats, I think.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
No, it was something nicer than that.
You trust the
It's
name?
Hobie or Hobo, or it's spelled
Kobe. Kobe.
Is it Kobe? Hobie?
Is Toby or Kobe?
Toby. Maybe Kobe.
Toby.
Well, I finally found a butcher that
Toby.
and they do all the prep for you. I told them I didn't want their rub. I wanted them to just package it up.
Don't like to have your
No, I have a special rub that I want to put on it, but they debone it and they do. So the joke in my house for the last week has been, I've got the meats. Like whenever me and my daughter have that opportunity to make fun of my husband. So those of you that know my husband, make sure you tweet to @DarkNadoRet, letting him know that you've got the meats, and you have to make sure that it has an S. Anyway, so that's been the joke this week, is the meats, because
I think the bigger joke is Belle is like her meat rubbed.
I don't like my meat rubbed unless it's with my own special rub. Not just anybody can rub the meats. That was way better than a week in Wild, guys. So yes, I have not done very much in regular World of Warcraft, but I've done my stuff in PTR. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to raid the last couple of days, but hopefully my world will calm down. Well, after the holidays, it'll be good anyway, because even if I work, I don't have to do all the other shit, which is rapping, trying to be a rapper, guys.
Prime rib sounds delicious.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Last year I did a prime rib, but I did a bone in. Giggity. But I'm really excited about having the bone out.
Awesome. I'm happy for you.
Guys, I wanted to tell you, I know that there's some of you that are, you are on our Patreons. You give us dollars. And I've informed these fine gentlemen that starting the first week of January, that we will be recording the 30 minutes prior to the show, which we obviously call pre-show, which, guys, I'm just going to disclose that the 30 minutes before today's show, like, this might be a special thing, because there was some weird shit being talked about. But the pre-show there's no censor. It's not even really about the show sometimes. It's all kinds of weird and randomness, but we are going to be releasing the 30-minute pre-show to our patrons, whether it's $1 or $5. Everybody gets the same, because you shouldn't have to pay more than $1 to be our friends.
You don't have to pay any dollars to be my friend.
Sure. Yeah, you don't have to pay any dollars to be our friends, but the only reason we're doing it is because I feel like they are trying to help us and they care about what we do, and I feel like we should give them something back. So that's going to start
I agree.
The first show in January, which is going to be January 4th show. I like to start stuff, that way we start.
God bless America.
Yeah, so.
January 4th?
Don't you feel like Rem is one drink away from hugging an inflatable T-Rex?
No, I'm not T-Rex. I mean,
oh, he really did try. I thought he was trying to hump the T-Rex, and then we found out he was just trying to hug him. I was trying to find out who was in the T-Rex.
I just wanted to unzip him, okay?
Yeah, we don't charge for hugs, Merc. You got the wrong nerd group, because that ain't us, bruh. We don't charge.
But we do pay. You have to pay to sit with us.
Yeah, you don't have to pay. You just buy us a drink, though. Like,
no, seriously, you said 1st or 4th?
The 4th, whatever the first show of the year is.
You confused me with your first.
Yeah, so the 4th, because it's the very first show in January. Next week we're gonna have our end of year episode. We'll probably talk about it should be it's probably gonna be a longer show next week, guys. So just get used to it. Those of you that are listening, if you have the means to have Twitch on mobile, you can watch us live. We are live at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 10. What is that? 10 server? 11 server? 11 server.
11 server, yeah.
Which is Eastern Standard Time.
You say server, but they
don't know. Eastern Standard Time, guys. Yeah, so make sure that you guys tune in next week, because it is going to be a pretty special episode. And I think since it is the end of year episode, we could probably expect a little bit more drinking. Maybe we could get Jimma in on the...
I'll have some drinks.
Get the good times rolling. But, guys, I know this episode might have been... Wow. This episode was a little unorthodox. I had a drink or two.
That's how I live my life, Belle.
One taco at a time.
I did have tacos tonight, by the way. Full disclosure.
Oh.
Christmas party. I had tacos.
I'm going to go eat some bread. My guilty Cash sent me 3 loaves of delicious banana bread. He's the best. Well, his weekend wife, as I referred to her on Facebook.
I have something to ask you after show.
Oh, my, that's scary. Guys, we're going to get on out of here. I apologize for any unprofessionalism that might have occurred in this episode. I really needed to cut loose, and I feel good about that because I've been super stressed out, and I think Jim has laughed a lot at my Rem's
enjoyed
expense.
myself. Yeah.
He's like, yeah. And we will see you guys next week for the end of the year episode. It's a big deal because a new year means
Crazy.
new us and New Year's resolutions. JK, I'm still going to be an asshole next
Not
year.
yes.
Yes. I'm still going to be a dick next year. I love you all. Thank you for listening. Those of you that are listening or watching at home, feel free to send me an email, tweet to us. I was going to say something else. Tweet to us. Also, thank you for the dick pics that I received this week. I got a wiggling wiener. I got a Richard Nixon.
Murphy.
I got and another dick pic too. I don't remember what it is, but yeah, I got a couple dick pics this week. Pascal, shout out to him. He gave me an idea.
I'm kind of hurt I didn't get any, but I'm okay.
Yeah, I got a wiggling wiener dog. I think it was Spencer that might have sent that to me. Christopher
You
Spencer.
guys are out of control.
Do you guys, Christopher Spencer, I think it's, his battle tag is, hey, it's me, Toph, maybe. I don't remember. But it's Christopher Spencer sent it to me. But yeah, I got dick pics galore this week, guys. Cal sent me.
Well, Safi has a wiener named Peter.
Oh, it probably wasn't him. Guys,
Wiener
we're going to
dog.
get out of here. We
Sorry,
derailed. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We are going to... I've got to call Rem's mom so she can help him into his pajamas.
I feel like he's not going to
I need help in my onesie, guys.
I'm calling your mom right now.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. No, listen. I'm texting her right now and telling her to help you in bed. I'm texting Rem's mom live right now and telling her that he needs some assistance. Oh, she's going to laugh. She's probably not going to be much help because she's like me. She's kind of a dick. All right, guys, we're going to get on out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Rem's just going to pass on what he's wearing.
Hey, I fixed the outro. Okay, no, I'm seriously texting your mom.
Well, how do you even have her number?
Well, I'm going to message her on Facebook and make sure that you are with me.
No, I'm fine.
Are you?
Oh,
I'm good. That was a good show.
listen.
Did you have fun?
Informative and fun.
Candle
guys.
set the ambiance perfectly.
It does, yeah.
It made a nice aura.
I felt that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why I
a
wanted
nice aura
you.
here.
Nice.
The funny thing is, I wasn't even sure that was paper. I just wanted you to move it so that
It was a tissue, but this is
Oh, yeah, I
this
wanted
has
the candle to
created
have its
a
own
super
thing,
nice like